gamers, and welcome to episode 352 of the Super Ultra Podcast Arcade for November 21st, 2021. I'm one of your hosts, Daniel Nicholson, and with me is my co-host, Dominic Stallworth. What's going on this week, Dominic?
It's been an all right week, man. It's been a cool week for me. It's been all right for you?
Yeah, pretty chill. Plus, it's, getting cool outside.
Yeah, definitely. And now Thanksgiving's coming up now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man. The holidays, man. It's crazy how this year is over. This year is almost fucking over, man. It's so weird. But let's get down to it. I know, the big news was the Kyle Rittenhouse case trial that happened, and I know there's people who didn't like the verdict. Put it like this for me. We talked about this before. I just felt like, why did he have to go there? Why did he have to go there and to feel like, and carry the gun and doing what he did? And said, he didn't need to do that at all. He didn't have to be there. But thing is, I guess by the letter of the law, I haven't really followed this too thoroughly, but just from a little bit I did hear about, it's I guess by the letter of the law, he really didn't break any laws. And and I guess him just saying he was threatened was okay, that was a good enough excuse.
Yeah.
And
for self-defense.
Exactly. So it's I guess where are you actually going to charge him with then? I don't know the specific gun laws there, but I know you can open carry, and I guess the age is younger than some places to have a gun. I guess he was within that age.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I remember seeing that all the gun-related charges were dropped at some point previous to the actual verdict of it.
Previous. So
same
I was
with the curfew stuff, because apparently that wasn't enacted officially correctly or something like that.
Oh, so yeah, because I had a feeling I don't know if he's going to get any time for this. I'll be surprised. That's something I just didn't know about.
Yeah.
That's what turned out. It sucks. It sucks. It really is just like I said, it's not so much a thing about breaking the law. It's about just the type of person he is, or the people he's with, or who encourages this. It's what? Nobody had to die. If he didn't, he could have minded his fucking business or something like that. Or if he wanted to just protest against it, why they didn't have guns? Why'd you have to come with a gun?
Right.
They had the police there to take care of that, and this fucking sucks.
Yeah, that's the argument from one side, right? Is basically it's not self-defense because he was there provoking people just by having a gun there, right? But it's clearly not the way it was seen by the jury. So it's horrible. But I guess get right down to it. Sports. My Washington team beat the Buccaneers. They upset Tom Brady. I couldn't believe it. I didn't know what I was watching. I was like, what the fuck is this team? There's this team that's playing against the Buccaneers, because this ain't the team I've been watching all year. I was shocked. I couldn't believe it. I was like, what? We actually have a chance to win this game? And when I thought we was going to lose it, they turned the ball over, I believe. And I was like, wow. Unbelievable. Then we did a 19-play drive. That tie for the longest plays on a drive in the NFL. This drive was long. I forgot. I think it lasted almost, how long did it last? Almost 10 minutes or something like that? Oh, wow.
11? I forget. But it was they took up most of the quarter. And I was like, Jesus Christ. I said, we still got the ball. We still on the fucking field. I said, damn. Every time I think about something's going to go wrong, we get a first down. I said, wow, we are keeping it out of their hands. And then we scored a touchdown too at the end of it. I was like, yep, this game is over now. I said, wow, this is unbelievable that we did this. Unbelievable. It just seems like our quarterback, because he played against them last year in the playoffs, he did really well against them. We couldn't come through at the end. But he seems like he wakes up for this team. I wish he would play like this all the time. I wish we could play the Buccaneers all the time, one or the other, because it just seems like he just plays so great against them. I hope it means something hey, maybe this team could start getting better, but I don't know. It could be just one of those weeks, that, hey, we upset somebody, but then we're going to come back next week and be back down to earth and lose. We already lost like our best defensive player, Chase Young, so that's not going to help. Now we're playing the Panthers, who Cam Newton is back. He's starting for him. I'm happy that he's got a job. I wish it wasn't the first game against us that he'll be starting, but he did play some last week. He just wasn't the starter because, you got to learn the playbook and everything. So even though it's his old team, it's not the same coach. His former coach is our coach. So that's the storyline. But he did get a touchdown. He got 2 touchdowns in the amount of plays he had. So I think he threw for 1 and ran for 1. So that was good. And he was all yelling like, I'm back. And I was like, oh, that's cool. That's cool. Now, honestly, I really hope you don't whip our ass. Really. that's what I hope. I hope. But I don't want him to look bad either, too, because I'm kind of rooting for him because I felt like he got screwed over in New England. But yeah. What else we got here? Ravens lost, right? Am I remembering?
Who did they play? I can't remember.
Or was it a bye? No, they played on Thursday night. That was the Thursday night game. Yeah, and they lost. Yeah, a Miami game. So they just had a long break. I don't know who they're playing this week. But hopefully they can.
Bears.
The Bears?
Yeah.
The Bears are not that great a team. I mean, hopefully they could come through against them. But then again, Miami wasn't a great team either. I think they only had 1-2 games. So hopefully the Ravens got their act together. I hope so, because I'm rooting for them. I'm rooting for Lamar Jackson.
Yeah, I think he's supposed to be out again this week, though. Unfortunately.
Well, he wasn't out last week, but this is gonna be his So he's gonna be out this game.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah, sorry, what was it? A couple of weeks ago that he was out.
Oh, it says. It says Lamar Jackson's questionable because of illness right now. Okay. But yeah, they don't know if he'll make it. I hope they can still win this. I mean, it still should be winnable.
Yeah,
because the Bears are not that great. They got a rookie quarterback, so it still should be winnable. Anything else of football talk about? I can't really think of it. I think last week before last? There was a lot of upsets. I forget, but yeah, it was it's football. That basically. Yeah, it was last week, I believe. No, week before last. That was a lot of upsets. My fault, because Cowboys did win. What else we got here? I guess basketball. Oh, the Wizards. I know they just came off losing 2 straight, but they won their last game. They're 11-5, and I think they tied for second in the East. I mean, they look good. They play defense. This is a totally different team than years. I mean, they didn't play no defense. I mean, you talking about teams that get 120 points on them. Now it's the low hundreds and 90s. Even when they lose, the team will only score the low 90s. The high 90s or low hundreds. So it's hey, if you play defense, that your chances of winning a lot more. Yeah, because so that does help. So even they have a bad offensive game, I'm you got a chance, because if you hold the team down and don't get blown out, you got a chance to come back. Which that's what happened in the last game. I mean, they weren't shooting all that great, and but they got stops when they had to, and they were down by 17, but then they started getting stops and coming back, and they came back and won and beat the Heat. So. And the Heat is a good team. I mean, we lost them the first time we played them, but it was a back-to-back game between them. We had played them at Miami, then we had a day break, and then we came to Washington and won our home game there. So that's what I was hoping for, at least a split between them. Because the Heat look like they are one of the contenders in the East that could possibly go to the finals, because they got a nice squad now. I mean, they had a nice squad 2 years ago. Last year, I don't know what the fuck happened. I mean, they got to the playoffs, but they got swept. So I was surprised by that. But this time they look really good this year. I would be surprised if they lose in the first round this year, unless somebody gets injured. I know the Lakers are still struggling from what I hear, but I don't really pay attention to a lot of other teams outside of the Wizards. But I know I haven't heard the Lakers really win. LeBron James is back. He just came back recently, but I think they lost that game they played. But people are really hating on Westbrook, for that team. Is The Wizards won that trade, man. I mean, that's what it's like. Thank you, Lakers, for giving us at least a team we can actually enjoy watching, and I'm surprised. And in the Lakers, it's funny because like I said before, I don't hate him as much this year because I do want Carmelo Anthony and Westbrook to have a ring. So I was like, yeah, they get a ring. At least they get it. I mean, I know LeBron gets one, but whatever. But at least they get one. But now it's looking like, are they going to be a good team? Because the Warriors look great right now. And they don't even have their second best player back, Klay Thompson, playing. So it's like the Warriors looking like the top dogs in the West right now. So we'll see as time goes on. Other than that, nothing much. I think the Capitals still doing great, from what I hear. They just been winning. So yeah, that's all I have in sports. You got anything for wrestling?
Just more releases from WWE because
some more.
Yes,
do they even have a staff to release?
they're still finding people. This time they got rid of John Morrison, who had came back a couple years ago. They've been teaming him back up with Miz, just like he was a long time ago before he left. He could have done lots more. They released his wife, Taya Valkyrie, a couple of weeks ago. And another one, Isaiah Swerve Scott. A couple of weeks ago, they let go of B-Fab, who is the lady that was in his group Hit Row. They came up from NXT just a couple of weeks ago to the main roster during the draft, and they have now let all of Hit Row go, the three other guys that were in that group, including Swerve, who is another guy along with John Morrison who both kind of really shined when they were in doing the Lucha Underground stuff. And then they came here. Swerve was NXT North American champion, and he did some okay stuff on NXT, but they never really did a lot with him outside of that until this Hit Row stuff came along, and that was pretty short-lived on NXT before they called him up. It's another one of those ones that's really weird because they literally just called him up. That group has been on television basically every week since they've been called up. They haven't really had matches, but it's been them cutting promos and doing rap stuff. But then they just let go of him the same way they did with Malachi Black, Aleister Black when he was with WWE. They had him on TV. They had just started him in a feud with I think Big E, and then a week later they let go of him, and it was just super weird. There's a lot of people that allegedly are coming up on their contracts too in NXT especially, but some of the big names like Kyle O'Reilly and Johnny Gargano. Kyle O'Reilly, you already have Adam Cole and Bobby Fish in AEW who were part of his faction in NXT, the Undisputed Era. So there's a very good chance that he could leave and go there. And Johnny Gargano is friends with the Young Bucks and stuff and a couple of other guys who were over there. Honestly, I can't see, without having an inside perspective of this, just looking at this and what we've seen over these past couple of years now, where WWE's kind of started to do this, unless you are not getting any interest from AEW or you think you would get lowballed by them, I can't see any reason whatsoever to re-sign with WWE because they've already made it abundantly clear that a contract with them is a contract for you as long as it's convenient to them. They can break that contract whenever they want, but you can't get out of that contract whenever you want. So if you sign a 3-year deal, you're stuck there for the next 3 years until they decide they don't want you anymore. And that's just not job security. Whereas Tony Khan has been going around now saying, look, if you sign a contract with AEW, it's not necessarily a guarantee that you're going to be on TV all the time or whatever, but you're going to finish out that contract. We'll let your contract run out if we don't want you there anymore. We're not just going to give you notice and say in 90 days your contract's up and you're not getting paid. So at least there's some level of job security there. There's also the openness that AEW allows, that as long as you're not trying to work on a day that they need you to work, one of their TV days, then you can go and work indie promotions if you want and make some side cash like that. So I really just don't understand the mindset of anybody at this point that is a substantial name, at least. Like, I understand new guys coming in and getting this opportunity with WWE, especially like these athletes that maybe, weren't interested in wrestling, but they kind of drafted them. But guys like Kyle O'Reilly and Johnny Gargano, Kevin Owens, who's coming up allegedly on his contract, and he's really good friends with Adam Cole and the Young Bucks. So it's pretty much a given, I think, for him to leave. One of the podcasts that I listened to, Going in Raw, actually just calls him Kevin Steen now, because they're like, we're acclimating ourselves to getting used to going back to his old name. So when he switches over to AEW, which, it's just easy, because there's still like times where I'm talking about Bryan Danielson and I'm like, oh yeah, Daniel Bryan. Yeah, it's just insane. It really is getting to a point where something's got to be going on. Are they selling and stripping down the roster to make it, more profitable, and then whoever buys can buy, get back whoever they feel like they want? Or do they really just feel like, oh, we only need 8 people on each of these rosters? Because that's kind of the point we're getting to. It's really like, if you aren't for a select, let's say 8 people to be kind of, on the high side of things. If you aren't a Roman Reigns, you aren't a Seth Rollins, a Becky Lynch, a Sasha Banks. I would say Charlotte, but Charlotte's stuff right now is kind of weird. Andrade, her fiance, is in AEW. They released him a couple of months back, and there's been rumors of her having an attitude or issues with people backstage. I don't know that they would necessarily release her, but I also wouldn't be surprised if her contract's coming up and she chose to leave. It just, I don't know. It's weird, because like all that stuff that's coming out is like, it makes it sound like she's hard to work with. And, if that's the case, then is an AEW going to pick her up? Now, because Andrade's there, possibly. Is any of this even true? Who knows? It's wrestling. There's so much stuff that comes out from backstage sources that are like just blatant lies, because they also want to like push along the storyline, because Survivor Series is actually tonight as of recording this, and it's Becky Lynch versus Charlotte Flair. So they're, also building to that, like, oh, they used to be great friends, but now they have tension backstage, and, Charlotte's talking about how fake Becky is, and Becky's talking about how fake Charlotte's boobs are, stuff like that. So yeah, it's just another week in WWE releasing people, and AEW being really good. So that's, par for the course right now, I guess.
All right. So I guess we move on to what we've been watching.
Yeah.
So I guess you can start, because I finally did watch most of Shang-Chi, I should say.
Okay.
So yeah, what you watch?
So I watched a couple of things. Midnight Mass is a Netflix show that I've been hearing a lot about recently. And it's hard to get too into it without kind of alluding to some of the stuff that I think. Let me just first off say it was a very enjoyable show. I think it was like 7 episodes, an hour long each. And I highly recommend it. I think even the trailer kind of gives away a little too much, but that may be just because I kind of came into it having an inkling of what was happening there. It's basically about this group of people that live on an island. It's basically pretty secluded, a small community. And one day a new priest shows up there, and then things start to happen. I think it's a really interesting way that they go about, I don't want to say criticizing religion, because it's not even necessarily that, but it's kind of like their take on it is very interesting. I highly recommend it, but I don't want to talk too much more about it, because I think it's better viewed through a lens of like not really knowing what's going on. but I would definitely say check that out. It's very interesting.
Where is that?
On Netflix. And it's not,
Okay.
it seems like it might be kind of a creepy thing. It's really not too scary per se. There's not like jump scares and stuff like that. It's just a little bit unsettling here and there. And there is some violent stuff in there. So careful with that if you're like watching around family or whatever.
What about sex? And there's a lot of sexy stuff?
No, not any whatsoever. Should have told you that after you watch it. Yeah, so that is good. I recommend that. I'd like to see you watch it and get some opinions on that. Talk about that one day. Also, Cowboy Bebop, the live action version of that is.
I'm surprised you watched it. I didn't think you like anime, so I ain't.
So that's the thing. I haven't really watched Cowboy Bebop. It was mostly just because like I had finished Midnight Mass, and it was like, hey, Cowboy Bebop's on here now, and I was like, I'll give it a shot, see what's up with it. It seems okay so far. I don't know how opinions are on it yet. I don't know if people are happy with its, faithful adaptation of the original.
Oh,
or
yeah.
not.
Yeah, I have no idea either.
Hopefully people are liking it just because you hope a thing's going to be good. Like I said, I have no context for it really because I remember Cowboy Bebop when I was younger, but I never really got into watching it.
Yeah, I remember it because I used to get the Gundam tapes because I used to like Gundam Wing, and they would have that like preview of it in the beginning. Like that's when it was first coming out, and and then I saw Cartoon Network had it, and I was like, I never really I think I watched maybe one episode, but I don't remember anything about it.
Yeah. I'm gonna watch this, and I don't know, I'll probably make it through the end depending on how many episodes there are. And then if it's like, oh yeah, this was really cool, maybe I'll go back and check out the anime and see how it is. So far, I like the kind of interactions between the characters. The main two characters are pretty fun, together. The action stuff feels a little low rent. Like it's not. I'm not like, wow, these. It's not like when I was watching Shang-Chi and talking about the bus scene. Like, whoa, that was incredible. It's just like it feels a little on the slow side. Feels a little
so even worse than the other Marvel shows like Daredevil.
Yeah. I mean, definitely not as good as Daredevil. I thought Daredevil was pretty good, especially like the earlier seasons. I think season 3 it got a little less good, but that was maybe just because it's like, oh, we've already seen how incredible this stuff is. Definitely not as good as that stuff. It just, I don't know, it feels more slowed down and like they're trying too hard or something. It doesn't feel natural, I guess is what I'm looking to say there. But so far it's okay. I'm 2.5 episodes in. I think that's only 30 minutes long. Those episodes kind of breeze by. So there's that. And then I finally finished the Injustice movie that you were telling me about, the Justice League Injustice, Batman versus Superman situation. Now, you were telling me like it's not like the game, and I never finished those story modes in the game. Well, which one did I finish? Was that the first one? I think it was the first.
The second one you finished. I know you finished.
Okay. Yeah, because I didn't finish.
Because you said you chose Superman. I was like, you played the first one and saw what Superman did. You wouldn't think he's a good guy.
Yeah. So that's the thing about this is like I've always been on the side of like Batman's fucking up by not killing the Joker. I'm sorry, because every time that man gets out, he kills thousands more people, hundreds more people, whatever. Yeah. Like at a certain point, you got to stop that. So it's like, okay, Superman finally did it. Like it's about time.
Well, the police need to do it then.
I mean, yes. Or they just need to get a better fucking jail cell. I don't know. Like they need to do something. But if he's going to continue to escape, then they just need to put him down.
Exactly.
So Superman finally does that.
Like instant execution. Like this is.
I mean, that's the thing, right? Is like let's fucking put that man to jury, and it's pretty locked trial there, right? Like anyway. But yeah, then of course, with any of these stories, Superman realizes the power that he truly has, and then starts to decide that he's going to be the one and only, judge, jury, and executioner of everybody, and it only escalates from there. I think this one was pretty good, but it definitely feels like it deviates from at least what I saw of the game storylines. And
yeah, it definitely does.
And overall, like, where do you go from here? Because it's like, spoilers, but he's just like, oh, lock me up at the end. Like, I'm done.
See, that's what changed, because that's not how the original game was with that. I mean, eventually they do get to the point where they lock him up, but like with the Superman from the other universe, like a lot of them come from the other universe. And I think Lex Luthor helped with that happening. So it's totally different in that aspect. Like, it wasn't like no quick fight. I mean, because like Batman came through, and then people, like, there was like a big confusion, like, what's going on. Batman and Joker came through. It's like, oh, the Joker's still alive, and like it was a whole lot more story. Like this, I was thinking this is gonna be like a prequel, basically, just to the game, and then it ends maybe where the game starts, and then maybe they do a part 2 or something. Because I was like, how do you do this movie in this amount of time?
Right. Unless
you start like how the game starts. Because if now you're starting, because the game doesn't start where this movie starts. The game starts like, you'll see the part where he kills the Joker, but then it fast forwards. It fast forwards to him already ruler of the earth, basically, Superman and Wonder Woman and the other people. So that's what's the big difference is. Like, this is, I guess, is more closely based to the comic book prequels, which I've read, but it's a lot of things, of course, omitted. I mean, I understand, because you only got but so much time. I just feel like it can't be done in one movie, though. I felt like, man, y'all could at least done a 2-parter. Yeah. I mean, something. And plus, like, the Flash dying, like, a lot of people who died in this didn't die in the original game. Now, yeah, Dick died. But, and thing is, wait a minute. See, in this, he becomes Boston Brand in this, basically. What that guy was. Oh, okay. Dead Man.
Dead, yeah.
But Dead I think, I want to say in the comic book, he becomes the Spectre. So they kind of changed up on that. I mean, that's not a big deal, but it's just something different.
So does Damian is he always the one that kills him?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Well, wait a minute. Now, I'm trying to remember how he killed him. I don't know if he killed him in that way, but I think he did something that got him killed. And Batman basically disowned him.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, they changed up a lot of things. It changes, like, I don't care about changes as long as it's still a good movie. And I mean, it was okay. It was okay movie. Yeah. But I felt like I wish it was a 2-parter. Because they kind of did that quickly with, like, oh, we got the Superman from this universe come. And like, then he comes and then he fights.
And then he kicks his ass, and then he's like, oh, wait, let's also get Lois in here.
Yeah. Because it makes sense, like, oh, yeah, you hold him back in this. But
I did like how they were like, we're Earth 1. And like, no, you're 22.
Yeah, I like that.
Earth 1 Superman wouldn't fuck shit up like this.
I like, what was it? That's like just like on Futurama when they met the other universe, and it was like, we're Earth 1. So why are we 1? It's like, we're Earth A. They say we're Earth A and Earth 1. All right. So what else is there?
I also like Plastic Man in there. He was pretty funny.
No, Plastic, and he was good in the comic book. I mean, it was short, but they did that was a comic book. Like, he broke people out of that prison, but he saved he had a son, in there, and I think that's probably part of the DC universe thing. Because I don't really know a lot about Plastic Man, but because he was saving his son, and then they went somewhere. They traveled through somewhere, and they had left. But Plastic Man, like, he's one of those guys, like, you can't really kill him. It's just so, because he literally has no bones.
Yeah. I mean, that's like when Superman started like blasting through him with his eye lasers. I was like, oh shit. And he's just like, whatever.
Yeah. So it's like he's hard to kill. But he does a lot of real shit. But yeah, he's funny. I like him when they portray him as, I do like that. So I thought it was an okay movie. I thought it was okay. It was decent.
Yeah.
But it wasn't as good as The Long Halloween to me.
Yeah, no.
Or what other one was there? maybe it was better than that first Superman. Well, not the first one, but
Is
the
that
one
like
that
Superman
came out.
All-Stars?
No, the most recent one that came out.
Gotcha.
That maybe is better than that one. Because that's the start of the new animated series stuff. It starts with that movie. I'm trying to think, what's the next one that's coming out for the DC animated? I forgot what it was. All right. So, anything else?
Nothing else except you.
Okay. Oh, well, but hold on. I forgot. I finished Goliath. I finished that season. That was the last season. Like, as for the season, it was good. I really enjoyed it. As if for being like the series finale, it was okay. I mean, I guess the ending, I guess it was pretty good for that type of show, the way it ended. I just wish there was another show like this, because I don't know any other lawyer shows like that's really that good out now. If there are any, because most of the shows I see are cop shows. Like cop or hospitals. Like, it's like, oh my God, it's so many cop shows. For how much people don't like the police, man, there's a lot of cop shows, I can tell you that.
Yeah.
Good God. I mean, you got the one with the guy from Castle.
Yes.
And
yeah, the rookie.
You got 2 911s.
Yes.
And then I guess you put them with the firemen and the freaking medics with that one too. But then you got the hospital shows. I mean, you got the Chicago's. There's 3 of them. It's the cop. I mean, it's the firemen, the cops, and the hospital. Then you got this New Amsterdam one. That hospital show. It's like just so many medical. And like, and I'm surprised by firemen. I'm like, good God, man! So who gives a fuck about firemen? Because I'm like, this ain't real. Because firemen don't work this much.
How dare you?
Like,
how dare you?
I mean, they don't be putting out fires and doing all this stuff all the time. I mean,
every 5 minutes, Dominic. These poor men risk their lives. Men and women risk their lives. Volunteers,
like,
most of them. And they go and work a day job.
I mean, that is like. For them, that's they get PTSD with that, man. A bunch of the stuff they go through.
Yes, shows. They do, and that's the storyline.
All right, but lawyer shows. I used to be quite a few of them, but now I don't really see them.
Yeah, not nearly as much.
And I like those shows. I like them better because I like dealing with the law and things, and it gets you thinking on perspectives of certain situations. And it don't be, I mean, unless it's like Matlock, it's a good and bad. But see, I like the real lawyer shows where it was, or like Perry Mason, like just like Matlock, good. It's like, oh, they're good or they bad, you know, they did it or they didn't do it.
Yeah.
While like the practice, you don't know. Sometimes you don't know they did it. They might get the wrong guy, or they might get and something like that, or you don't know if that was the right person or whatever, or the person gets off, like the person that actually did it, but they get off. So I like those type of lawyer shows because they're more real. They feel real, like what would happen. But also get you thinking, like some things you might think like, oh yeah, this person's guilty. But then when you go through the court case, it's like, oh, I guess he's really not. I don't like what he did, but it really wasn't, you know, he should go to jail for it or get that many years maybe. But yeah. All right. So I guess we'll talk about Shang-Chi now. So you said you liked it. I mean, it was an all right movie. I didn't finish it. The ending when they have the big fights. That's where I'm at now. But I pretty much can tell. I mean, that's not gonna make or break the movie for me. So,
yeah, that's definitely the least best part of that movie. Part of that movie.
So what I seen, it was okay. I thought it was okay movie. For some reason, the jokes didn't really land for me in this movie. I mean, it's a nice action movie, but it's like compared to some of the other Marvel movies, it's probably maybe lower on the spectrum for me, or maybe the middle of the pack. I don't know. I guess it's better than Iron Man 2. I guess it's better than Thor, the first Thor, or the second Thor. I think I like the first Thor better than the second Thor.
Yeah,
I forget
like the first Thor better than the second.
Yeah. I think that's yeah. So the second Thor, it's probably better than the second Thor. I like it better than Captain Marvel.
I'm just gonna have to make our official tier list, Dominic.
Yeah, I mean it's yeah, I mean it's better than some of those movies. So it's not like it's the worst one out of the pack. So yeah, maybe it's better than the Hulk too. So yeah, so it's like yeah. I mean it's all right movie. It's a good movie. The only I had problems with is like spoilers. I mean, technically we did spoilers and injustice. I mean, really warning people, but oh well.
You know what you're getting into if you listen to this podcast at this point. As soon as we say the word of a thing, it's probably getting spoiled.
Yeah, exactly. How they do the backstory of like these people not living up to potential, which we've seen all the time. Like people who like they settle and they don't want to grow or like do something better for themselves.
Yeah, look in the mirror like every day, Dominic.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. That's how I
went for the same joke.
and so but thing is with them, it's like they did the two characters in it here, the guy Shang-Chi and his friend, what's her name? Awkwafina's character.
What is her name? Katie. I think Katie.
Yeah. So yeah, well I like what they said in this. When the guy asked her, "What's your Chinese name? What's your real name?" Or that, because those freaking Chinese people, and when I went to school with, I used to ask them that all the time. I was like, "That's not your real name. Your real name's not Raymond." I said, "Both your parents are freaking Chinese. They didn't name you Raymond, dude." I said,
but if they were born in America, there's a good chance that they're like, "Oh, we're just gonna give them an Americanized name, so we don't."
Well, I know why, but I didn't know. Back then, I didn't know. I was asking. I was like, "Why is your?" Because they used to ask them. I wasn't rude. I would ask them like, because I knew them, and they're like, "Hey, you're Chinese. Why is your name Raymond?" That's like, I was like, "That you're not adopted," and they say, "Well, that's the name they chose." I said, "Oh," and I asked other Asians that, like, and they say the same thing. Then they would just tell me. They could easily just tell me that. I guess maybe that's because it's wrong. Like, hey, we just want to make it easier for you Americans to say our names and be accepted by the white people. That's basically what it is.
Pretty much.
Anyway, but yeah, I do like they acknowledge that though. I was like, yeah, wow. I never seen a show really acknowledge this. So or anybody really. But what I was about to say. Yeah. Back to that. They went to school. Like they went to college. They have degrees and everything. I forget what, but it's pretty prestigious. So I'm thinking like, but they're valet they park cars.
Yeah.
As like, what the hell happened? It's like the thing is, it's at a point like it's not where they had a lot of bad luck.
They got art degrees, Dominic. Can never find a job in the field.
No, yeah. No, I can see something like, bad luck, hard times. So they have to work. He had to work this job, like, or he got fired or something like that. But no, they made it like they just settled. They just said, "I'm gonna go stick with the job I got in college or in high school, or college was most likely college, and just stay with this." And it was like, why?
Shang-Chi was trying to stay under the radar, man. He didn't want to have his terrorist father come after him.
Yeah, I mean. That's the only excuse I could think for him. But for her, I don't know.
She just
I have no idea. God, this is that kind of story. I said, come on, y'all could have done something better with that. Like they meet the friend that made something of herself to make them feel bad.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, the other trope I like in other movies that other movies do. I like it when what was it? I forgot what it was. Like the person, they were in a job I would consider good. Like they worked on a TV show.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess their friend works like at a prestigious news network. So that makes him feel bad. I'm thinking like, you fucking both work in television. Like I can't relate to this. Like I feel bad. Like if me and my friend got a job, something like that, I'm not gonna feel bad. I ain't gonna feel like he's superior because he works at fucking like ABC News and I work for MTV or something like that. What the fuck? It's like we both work in television, dude. Like, shit.
Plus, MTV News is the most prestigious with guys like Kurt Loder. Come on.
How'd you feel about it again? I know you said it last week.
Yeah, overall, I thought it was a fun, entertaining movie. It's another Marvel movie, but I think it does the another Marvel movie better than, Black Widow did necessarily. And I liked Black Widow a lot. But I think it's And part of it is maybe just because like Black Widow has so much on it where it's like she's already dead. We already know that. Like this is just another piece in the puzzle that they're doing.
I like Black Widow better than this movie. Like way better than this one. Yeah. So your opinion is wrong.
That's you haven't even finished the movie, so there.
I know. Oh, but my friend, he did see Eternals, and he said he fell asleep. So I that's not. I mean, he said he was kind of tired, but he did say that what he saw, he did not enjoy.
Oh, okay.
And he just felt like why did they go this route with this movie?
Yeah.
Like why did they choose it? Actually makes me want to see it because I'm like. Really, how bad did this movie? But not bad, but like for this to see how people are talking about this, it's like, man, Marvel, what happened? Like I mean, I ain't gonna say every movie gonna be great because, like I said, I don't think Shang-Chi's that great to me. I think it's all right, but it's not something I feel like, oh man, it's like bringing down Marvel or something. Mm. But like the Eternals, I'm really not hearing nobody talk about it.
Yeah, it really is one of those things that surprisingly for a Marvel movie is just gonna kind of come and go.
Yeah, because I wouldn't know, like, are they going to keep this connected? Because, I mean, if they are, it just...
I mean, the interesting thing about that is, like, everything I've read, it sounds like they're, like, still fully behind it, and they're like, oh, yeah, we're probably going to make another one.
Make another one? Oh, my God. See, I was thinking, like, maybe you might see them, but they ain't going to make another home movie. But, I mean, hey, maybe I'll like it. I doubt it, but I'll see it. I mean, I'm just saying, because my friend, he likes bad stuff, so if he thinks it's bad, it's got to be bad.
Or it's just really good. He just doesn't understand what good things are.
Yeah, okay.
It's Oscar-worthy.
All right, so I guess we get to what we've been playing. So who wants to start? You want to start or I start?
I can start, because I just played a little bit of both of these. San Andreas, Grand Theft Auto. I tried that on the streaming service. I did to the PC, but through the app this time, because now that's a thing that they have integrated instead of having to go to the website. It ran okay. There were some moments where it did like this full screen refresh thing. And I want to say that's just the streaming aspect of it and not the actual like fucked up remake of it. It looked fine. I don't think it looks particularly good. I don't think it looks terrible for just being basically an upscaled version of that game. I'd really like to play a good version of this because I think like the voice acting, as you'd expect out of a Grand Theft Auto game, anything past 3 is good so far. And I think the story could be very interesting, you know, just like one of those old 90s, God, like a 90s, you know, kind of street gangster movie. And yeah, I'd like to play more of this, but also if I could play like one of the modded versions that looks incredible, that would be a preferred way to do that.
I know. I see those. Some people were bringing those up. So I'm like, darn, maybe I should just get that.
Can I get that stuff still? Yeah. Because that's what's frustrating about this whole thing is like Rockstar could have given those people money to make a better version of this game, but instead they just basically went with the lowest common denominator and took the mobile version and maybe up-res that a little bit and just made it shittier somehow. And it's so disappointing when you see that talent is out there in the world and people could be making that stuff, you know.
And as much money as they made just for 5.
Yeah.
Like 5 is on fucking 3 generations.
Yes.
Well, it's about to be. It has officially released yet, right? For
no,
PS5?
Yeah, it hasn't.
Yeah, but it's going to be soon. But yeah, like why not? Or if you're not going to give it to them, you could have somebody work a whole lot better on it then. Because I mean, good God, I know you got money out the ass.
Yeah, at least when Nintendo was trying to shut down AM2R, they were coming out with a competent remake themselves of Metroid 2, whereas this is like, that would be like if they just shit out a Metroid 2 remake, and it's like, well, that one's better than that one. At least in that case, there's like a little bit of objectiveness where it's like, oh, well, I think this one's better, or I think this one's better because it does that. This is just like, oh yeah, those original ones were just fucking better than this piece of trash that you put out for $60. So, So yeah, I played that, and also I played some Link's Awakening, the original one, because I ended up getting one of those Zelda Game & Watches. I'm gonna keep it at work to just play on breaks.
What? You got that?
Yeah, it's a cute little thing, and it had Link's Awakening on it. That's if it just had the original 2 games, I wouldn't have, but because it had Link's Awakening on it,
You son of a bitch. Giving Nintendo money like that. God damn it.
Dominic, I'm always going to give Nintendo money. Yeah, it's a little disappointing that they don't have the color version of it on there, because it is a color screen. The first 2 games are in color, but instead of doing the DX version from the Game Boy Color, they just went with the original. And it also doesn't have like the glitch in there. I was telling the guy at work about how on the original Game Boy, if you played it, if you press either start or select when you were like transitioning screens, it would glitch you to the complete opposite end of the screen. And I literally, when I was younger, I didn't have any idea how to beat like the last dungeon without doing that. It wasn't until, I don't know, like 5 years after that I figured out how to actually beat that game without cheating. So it's nostalgic, but it also, I finally found my charging cable for my Vita. So I'm gonna, once I beat that game, I'm gonna take my Vita into work to have that to play on my breaks, and I'll probably jump into like Oracle of Ages or Oracle of Seasons or something like that. Try that out. So
all right.
So what have you been playing this week, Dominic?
All right, so I tried a couple new games this week. Quite a few, three new games. Bright Infinite Memory, that was released, and I played a little bit of it, and I haven't. I don't know even how it goes, like from stages or whatever. Because if it does, I haven't got past the first one then.
Mm-hmm.
But I played enough just to get a feel for it. Like, it feels okay. I think it doesn't feel super tight in the controls, but I can manage it. Like, I enjoy what I was playing. Oh, well, I heard this. Yeah, this is the problem I have. The wall running. I still haven't figured the right way to do it right. Consistently, I always seem to die first, and then I'll get it right maybe the second or third time.
Mm-hmm.
So I have to. I'll see about that. It could be just me, and maybe it's not the game. Because I'm going by what I play for other games. Other games, I just tap A once, and you go on the wall. This it didn't happen like that for me. So, yeah, maybe I don't know if it's me or that's just the game. That's really the only control issue I have with the game. Story, I really don't know what's going on. I don't. I mean, it's still early. Plus, partly on my part, I just want to play enough just to record a little bit of it, honestly. Mm-hmm. So I wasn't really paying attention to the story. So maybe in my next playthrough, I'll go back and just see what's going on and why this woman's doing what she's doing. But visually, it looks good, and it runs well on my PC.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So it does look. It kind of reminds me of like the what's it called? Shadow.
Shadow Warrior.
Shadow Warrior, yeah.
Okay.
It kind of reminds me of Shadow Warrior because with the melee they have in there, the block and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it definitely reminds me of that game. So that's the appeal with it, because I'm fighting an enemy and they throwing hits and I'm kind of blocking it with a blade, and then you can stun them and then shoot them or slice them up, and you can like use some power that kind of makes them kind of float or something like that. The guy they stuck in a position or something, like they kind of lifts them up. Well, actually, no. Oh, I think I did like an uppercut with the sword and kind of lifts them up, and then you can shoot them. It looked really nice and cool. Yeah, I might give this game some time. I mean, so many games, but I kind of just wanted to play this just to get some recording. But maybe I might come back to it. You got any questions about it?
No, I think I've seen kind of the idea of it. It looks pretty cool. I'm impressed because that's the one that's made by like one dude.
Yeah.
So I've always been impressed by it. Is it on Game Pass now? Is that what it is?
Nah, it's not.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I thought it was because they did advertise. They did advertise it with them, but
gotcha.
Yeah, it's not a Game Pass game.
Okay. Yeah, because I know it came out on the Xbox One and stuff too.
Yeah, it did. that's the only reason I really tried it on PC.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it seems like a cool thing. I'd definitely like to see them do more with that.
All right, so I played a little bit more Forza 5. I did a couple races. Yeah, I mean, the game looks great.
Did you try any of the like event things? Like, I there was a little bit of that at the end of my video.
The first one, only the first one that you do. Yeah, I didn't. I was trying to do. Are you talking about like the ones that timed?
Yeah, the like here do three crashes in 2 seconds.
I never make it in time. Because it tells like, well, I don't know if that's the same thing, but it's something that comes up and it's like you only got a minute or seconds to get there, and every time I try to get there, it disappears on me because I never make it in time, and I haven't traveled everywhere to go fast travel.
Yeah, I think the thing I was in was like kind of like what are those things called in Destiny 2? Like raids or whatever? Not the raids; those are the big ones. The kind of like, oh, you just happen to fall
strikes?
into this
instance. Are they called strikes?
Yeah, where it's like an instance, and you're like, oh, all of a sudden there's a big boss here, and you can be joined by like other drivers. It was kind of like that, but I didn't actually see any of the other drivers. It was just like, hey, in the next 10 seconds, run into 3 signs, or hey, in the next 10 seconds, run into these cactuses, or in the next 12 seconds, get up to 60 miles an hour. And it just like kept going over and over again for like 10 minutes. And it was like, this doesn't seem fun. Now I could see if it was like a group of you like together, like, oh man, this is the best place to go to, do this thing or something like that. But yeah, it really just was like, I'm sitting here. Okay, now I'm going 60. Now I'm going to stop and wait for it to tell me the next thing. Okay, I'm going to find 10 cactuses. It's just, I don't know. It seemed kind of lame.
Well, was I in a race? I don't know if I was race, but I'm in the hub where you see other people. I felt like I was in a race, and no, I wasn't in a race because I would have lost. So I won all my races. I wasn't playing against. I haven't done multiplayer yet. Mm-hmm. Haven't tried that yet. Oh, darn, what have I done? I mean, the most I think I did one like dirt roads. And I think one of them I couldn't do because I didn't have the right car and I had enough money yet to do it. But yeah, I'll be playing that. I'll probably most likely be playing that off and on. Just playing some races and then stopping. I mean, it's that type of game. I like it. All right, so I also tried out. I tried out, but I'm going to be playing Trails of Cold Steel 3. I finally playing that, so it's kind of good to play a Trails game that I had never played before again. And so it's really different, man, because now it's like 2 years after 2, and the main character has graduated the school, and now he's a teacher, and he's teaching at another school, which is a branch of the school you were at, which is called Thor's. So it's like a branch of that school, but another town. And yeah, you being a teacher now, it's like, and then he looks older. It's like, oh, darn, like it's like we really just grew up here. And now you're like talking to students, and I mean, technically you're kind of not that much older than them because I think I think you just recently graduated, and so, but it's just now I'm at the point where like when they do that stuff where like a student likes you, it's weird. I said, oh no. I said, I don't like this. I say, don't do those Japanese weird shit and like somebody just falling for you. I said, I hate that, but I know that's going to be there. Like this one girl, she just seems like she's all in love with you. I said, oh God. I said, I'm going to have to go to this shit. But a lot of things have happened though, within those 2 years. Like, and some things happened that were cut from a previous game. Like it was supposed to be in there, and they for some reason didn't have it. But they have a video that kind of tells you what happened, but it's in Japanese. I bet that somebody did translate it. I didn't watch it yet though. But it's like one of those weird things. Like, I don't know what they're talking about, and I was like, this supposed to have happened in the last game. But there's other events that happened just in between the times that were a big deal that like it makes sense to why certain things are happening. But I like also seeing characters from Trails in the Sky, like the girl. She was a real young girl in Trails in the Sky. What was her name? Tita. But now she's a little older. She's going to the school, and it's like, oh, that she's like one of my students. So I'm like, that's cool. I'm seeing these people and like they're older now, and then you have a person from what was the one that played the PSP games that I was playing. Like, you have somebody there. He's a teacher alongside you, and y'all. Well, at one point y'all were enemies because your country took over their city, Crossbell. Like Crossbell's now part of Erebonia, so it's like some tension between Crossbell citizens and them. But that guy doesn't seem like he's taking it that way. And I never seen him like. Only time I seen him angry was like when he was fighting like his cousin and uncle. But he's usually like a laid back guy, like a womanizer type of guy too. But he seemed really cool with me, and like I was kind of surprised. I was like, oh, he used to be with the Crossbell police. He's gonna he's like, and plus I fought the main character from that PSP game, which is based in when I say Crossbell Police, because the city is called Crossbell, and so I'm thinking like he's gonna be like, oh, he's not gonna like me, but he doesn't come off that way. So I'm like, oh, I wonder why. But most likely you're gonna find out later on. I just started, but it's kind of cool like how they're connecting all these games in the story, and now it's like if you play them all, it's like you appreciate it more, though. There's this one girl character that she says she used to work for the Crossbell Police, and I was like, I don't remember her. But then when I read up her bio on the internet, they kind of shoehorn her in to be like she was there, but she wasn't really there. But in the remakes of those games, which is they're only out in Japan right now, of the games from the PSP days, they did kind of implement her in that game, in that one. So it could kind of make sense of her being there, but still, the guy the guide to the game, the author of the guide, he talks about how it still irks him because even though they shoehorn her in the remake, they still something she shouldn't know that she knows, like she was there or something, but she wasn't. Like you never saw her, so it's like you gotta kind of like just pretend that happened. So that's kind of
watching
sucks.
from the shadows.
I'm just saying why they couldn't just get a character that was there. Yeah, I don't know. Like, why would they do that? But she's annoying because she doesn't like me because I took up my because I'm known as like the Ashen Chevalier. Because that's what my robot is called, the Ashen Knight, and I'm like one of the heroes of Erebonia, that as they would call me. And I was big in helping them take over Crossbell. So of course they see me like as an enemy. Yeah. Even though they're part of us now, but still, it just happened. It just happened like 2 years ago. So she kind of blames you, even though I'm trying to figure out too, because I don't really know why I agree to help them take over Crossbell. But I think I'm gonna find out in this game what happened 2 years ago that made you do that. It's an interesting story, like with the politics and everything. So yeah, I'm definitely want to see where it goes from there, and to meet all the other characters that I used to know for the previous game, see what they're doing. Because right now I'm only talk to them on the phone, and so I haven't really only seen one person from the previous games that were in my class so far. So yeah, but everybody seems to because everybody's graduated, so everybody's doing something in the country. All right, and last but not least, I played that new Halo multiplayer from Halo Infinite, and which is free to play now on the PC and the Xbox. So yeah, you don't have to have Game Pass to play it. You just have to have Xbox Live, and well, except for Steam. I mean, you could play on Steam.
So are they? Sorry, do you need Xbox Live for that? Because I know when they were going to raise the price for Xbox.
Oh, I have no idea then. And I have no idea.
Because when they were going to raise the price, they were also like, we're going to make free-to-play games actually free-to-play. So I would wonder if they would even do that with Halo or not.
Yeah, I'm curious about that too. But they dropped it off on the anniversary of Halo on the Xbox. So that was like a big surprise. Well, for me it was, because I didn't know what was happening. And so I was like, oh God. At first I was just thinking like, oh, it's just a beta, but then it was like, it's a beta, but it's just like a basic release too, because
that's what was confusing me, because everybody, like, they would officially call it a beta, but everybody's talking about it like, oh, it just released.
Yeah, release. Yeah, because I was confused too. I was like, wait a minute, I thought it was just a beta. Then it's like, oh, it's just they're just going to release it as a beta and then let it just carry over. Like everything's carry over. So that's cool. And I played some multiplayer. It's like it does really feel like an older Halo. Like it doesn't have all like those extra stuff like gadgets like they had in the other ones, which people, I guess mostly the Halo community didn't really like them. I didn't mind them, but the Halo community, the hardcore Halo multiplayer fans didn't really like them. Like they like 3. What's in 3? 3 is like the pinnacle for them. Where for me is Reach. I like Reach. So multiplayer. And I didn't hate Halo 5 multiplayer. I mean, I enjoyed it. I mean, I'm trying to think what multiplayer did I don't think I hate any of the multiplayer in Halo, really. I mean, they were all right to me. Yeah, this was different. But what I don't like about this one is that with the assault rifle, like the one you usually just always get, the battle rifle. I'm sorry, the battle rifle. I think it is that. Like it's never was like the strongest gun. I mean, purposely it's like that. You gotta break. You gotta break the shield. And the thing is, what a lot of people do, which is what I do, is that you key in on your guy, you run towards him, shooting him, get close, melee him. It's really hard to do that now. It's different now to do that. And I actually looked online, and some people they said the same thing. So I was like, oh, I thought it was just me. I was like, yeah. I was like, why is it not doing that? So that sucks, because that's really the only way I get a lot of kills was that motion. Like, hey, I just key in and then bam, hit him, and then or he hits me, or we both hit each other and we both die at the same time. That's what a lot of people do. But yeah, so I don't like that. But other than that, I mean, it was all right. I do like how you can now just set up games with bots, even though I think something's wrong with that, because when I went to custom games and I told like how many bots I want to play on the team, and they should tell me the limit of what that map is, because I can play on any map, but I can put like, you don't usually have 8 players on each team in certain maps because the map's too small.
Right. And
when I did that, because I don't know the maps, so I don't know what's the supposed to be like the big maps and the small maps, which I wish they would have. They should have something that says that. So when I got in, I was the only one there for some reason. I was like, what the fuck is going on? Why don't I see any other players? And I don't know if it's because they said, oh, like, this is too many people. But I was like, why just put 4 then? I don't know. I think there's something wrong with that. And then one time, I felt like I put the right amount of people. Then it was just only one team had players. And nobody was on the other team. Or it was only like one person on the other team. But I was like, I put 4. And then sometimes they get it right. So I don't know what the fuck is going on with that. It seems weird. But if I just do regular versus bots, though, like their own thing, it's fine. But if I try to do my own custom game, it gets weird. And thing is, they haven't made it so that bots will drive vehicles yet. Because I played like a big team with bots. I was trying to. And I get in a vehicle, they don't jump behind and get on the turn or anything. So I was like, they can't do that. I say, they can do that because they obviously do it in the single player. You see the soldiers get in the car and they be waiting for you, or vice versa. They can get in, they'll get on the back. I was like, why? They didn't make the bots to be able to get in vehicles. That's fucking sucks. But yeah, I know like not a lot of people are going to complain about that because they want to play with real people. But I suck, so I want to play with bots. And the bots versus humans is very easy. It's still very easy. I don't know what you can do to make it hard. I mean, I guess, I don't know what they have it on. I don't think these bots are on hard mode and anything. Maybe they should just put them up there, or at least have a section where it says, hey, you play against bots in hard mode. But the regular multiplayer is fine. I mean, it's all right. I mean, stuff with like the melee, I don't like. The other gadget stuff, I don't really use it. And I guess people are okay with it not being super effective. Because then, like I said, they didn't really like the stuff in the other games. So they like that it's okay, but it's not something like a game breaker, I guess. And I just haven't figured out when to use the gadgets I get. So, and the guns, there's some new guns that just don't, and I feel like it do enough. Like, there's one laser gun, like, oh, this is nice. It took forever for me to get that guy's shield down to a point. Like, what's the difference between that and the fucking battle rifle? Then I might as well use the battle rifle than this fucking laser gun. Yeah. And I had to pick this up. So I was like, it seemed like I still like the original guns better. I haven't seen a new gun yet. I haven't touched all of them. I mean, I have touched them, but I haven't touched all of them in like human versus human multiplayer. So to see how it works and like how well it is. So I don't know, but so far the original guns are still the best ones for me. Yeah, so that's what your multiplayer. Yeah, of course I'm gonna be playing that for a while until I get tired of it and then I just stop. But I just want to know, are they gonna have any other modes in here? Because right now it's just everything's what's been before. Like, I don't think the only newest thing is the bots. Or are they gonna have a horde mode or what they call it in Halo? They call their horde mode
firefight.
Yeah, firefight. Are they going to have a firefight in this one? Are they going to have like some other mode? They do updates sometimes, so I'm sure there's something new's going to come down the line. So maybe they will have something, because right now it's pretty, I want to say bare bone. I mean, this is what people play. That's what it is. Like on Halo, it's pretty much like that. And I guess, hey, it being free, that's pretty damn good. So it's kind of hard for me to complain and say, oh yeah, I don't got a lot of modes like the other games when this is free to play now. So I was like, oh, so yes, it doesn't feel cheap or anything. Like, it doesn't feel like a normal free to play game. It feels like a Halo game. So that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's all I have to say about it. Oh, and I'm playing it all through streaming. Like, I haven't downloaded it anywhere. Like, I'm not even gonna bother downloading the Xbox. I know that's gonna be the worst version. I played that version, and playing it through the streaming. Oh my god, it looks so much better.
Yeah,
it looks and runs so much better. Because I think that's 30 frames per second, and I'm playing at 60 frames per second.
Right, that makes sense.
All right, so I guess we'll take a quick break. When we get back, we'll get to the flashback segment.
All right,
and we're back. And now we're flashback into 10 years ago. In 2011, we have Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3, which technically actually should have been last week. I said it, but for some reason I must have forgot. I was really waiting for this game because, especially after they re-released 2 for Xbox Live Arcade, and I think it eventually also came to the PlayStation's network. I was like, yes. It's like, 'cause I was waiting for that game because it was so hard to find that. You had to pay hundreds of dollars on eBay to buy like a PlayStation 2 or Xbox copy. Yeah. So I was like, yeah. I said, I want to play that game. And then they announced this. I was like, yes, it's going to be a newer and I would hope better version, but it wasn't. It wasn't better. It was okay. I mean, I enjoyed it when I played of it, but it just didn't have the feel of 2. I wish they haven't gone the route of the animation. They wish they would have gone the drawn animation like they had before.
That's what I didn't like about it.
But they kind of stayed like in between the lines on that, between full 3D and anime. And eventually, like in the Infinite, they just, I don't know what the fuck that is. That's just abomination. Yeah, they made 3. Like, I didn't think you could get worse than 3. I was like, oh, let's say why? Oh god, that was a horrible design. What else we have here? Oh yeah, and you remember, hey, Infinite, everybody was talking about like, nah, it's not because of the Disney license, meaning or the licensing that we don't have
any of the X-Men.
Yeah, X-Men and shit like that. But it never happened. I'm like, this is bullshit. All right, what else we have? We have Cookie Mama 4 Kitchen Magic for 3DS. I never played a Cookie Mama game.
I don't think I did ever either.
I guess, I mean, I wonder if it's any good, like, cooking. What the hell is that called? The game I played with my friends.
Overcooked.
Cook-Off? Overcooked. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think it's quite the same thing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no. Yeah, I think it's more single player focused, and you just kind of like, here's your recipes, mix up your things.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Also, you got 3D Classics, Kirby's Adventure. So I'm guessing these are like older Kirby games up here. Well, this is just the first Kirby game.
The original one that got not re-released, but like released as here on the 3DS. We're just putting out old games.
Yeah,
like, I think they did that with Metroid and stuff.
That is fucked. I mean, how much that game cost? Because they should have had like more than one game.
Dominic, this Nintendo we're talking about.
Goodness gracious!
There's a reason you got to pirate their games. I mean,
all right, Anno 2070. I think that's a strategy game.
Yeah.
Has come out 10 years ago. There's been a few of these, right?
Yeah, 2077 or 2070.
What kind of, I never really pay attention what kind of strategy it is. Like, I know it's a simulation, but like, what's different between this and other ones?
I don't know. I was just assumed it was like Civ.
Yeah, it's just the scenario is that global warming has melted the Arctic ice cap, which has raised the global sea level, so the coasts were flooded. As a result, many old cities have vanished under the ocean, and much of what was once highland has been turned into chains of new islands. Responsibility for setting and exploiting these new frontiers is given to a select group of people who captain mobile ocean-going bases known as ARCs. Okay, so it's okay. It got some little scientific thing going here. It got some water world shit going on here.
The thing I always remembered about that game is that the title always amounts to 9. Like the first game was 1602. That one was 2070. It was 2205, 1800. So it's like 1 plus 8 and stuff like that.
Oh, your daughter sounds happy back there.
Oh, yeah. Ecstatic.
All right. What else we have here? We have Minecraft. Wait a minute. Is this? No, this must be like another. This must be like the official.
Yeah, that must be like the PC version instead of like the Java version or something.
Yeah, because we mentioned the Java version before. Yeah. So this is like the masses can get their hands on the great extension of Minecraft, and which was huge, and still huge. I mean, I'm sure a lot of people still playing it.
I'm just waiting for Minecraft 2, then I'll jump on board.
Yeah. So this release, oh god, and then about how long later did they sell it to Microsoft?
8 years, 7 years,
huh?
7 years.
Hold on, let me see.
It was like 3-4 years ago.
I think it's been more than that now.
Don't say that, Dominic. I don't want to be old.
Come on. Where are you? I'm on the page.
$2014.
Oh, okay. So yeah, only 3 years after.
God damn.
Yeah, I mean, you gotta go, but I mean, it's like this is just an official release date. I mean, it's longer, but still, like after it officially comes to the mat, like bam, here you go, Microsoft.
I hate that was 7 years ago, Dominic.
All right, where are we at? The Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword came out 10 years ago on the Wii. This is God. I wish they made the game with better controls. They had a chance to, and they still didn't. They still didn't. They come on the Switch, and they was like, "Nah, it's too hard." It's too hard for us to try to do this. I'm like, bullshit. I mean, I guess it's technically better, but I have no idea. But I don't want to spend $60 to find out. I still don't like it. God. All right, I'm not gonna say this game. I'm not gonna say these games either because I'm gonna say that somewhere else. And I guess that's it. I'm done for 2011. So I guess we're going back. Hold up. I'm gonna skip 20 years because 20 years is a big deal. I want to go to 30 years real quick.
All right.
And this is huge. The Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past for Super Nintendo was released in Japan.
Yeah.
30 years ago.
I was going to say, how do you skip 20 years because it's big and then say, oh, this isn't big, yeah. Dominic. How dare you?
Yeah. Well, it's not big because it didn't come to the U.S. yet. It come to the port.
That's true.
So,
early next year, we got this.
Yeah. Only the falling sun got it. That's what I call them.
Whoa.
I
don't even know what that means.
Well, the rising sun.
Is it because there's a sun on their flag and we took them down in World War II, Dominic?
Yeah. All right. So, yes, this is big, like the new Zelda on the new system, and it looked great. Definitely looked better than, and it went back to what it used to be instead of that side-scrolling thing they had for 2. So, because even though I think that's the one I actually played the most, even though I didn't get nowhere because I didn't know what the fuck I was doing. Yeah, I don't think I did anything. I think I might kill some things, but I don't think I think they have dungeons in that game. I didn't beat any of them, so I didn't get nowhere in that game. While 1, I ain't beat no dungeons in 1 either. I just went into places and died because I didn't understand that game either. I mean, I was like, what, 5?
Yeah,
I ain't
exactly. I've never beaten that game. That's why I like part of that Game and Watch thing. Like once I'm done with Link's Awakening, I'm going to give those games a shot and see if I can, with my adult brain, actually figure out what the hell's going on with that. My adult brain and the internet strategy guides.
Yeah. All right. So now we're going this 10 more years in the future to 2001. Oh, no, man. You ain't talking enough about this game. I mean, this is the game. You like this game. So what
it wasn't a game that I immediately played at the time, I don't think, like when it first released. But I definitely
92. 92, how old were you? I was in 2nd grade.
Yeah, so I would have been in 1st grade.
Yeah,
it's a game that I came back to mostly, I think, in emulators and stuff initially, and then when it came out on the Game Boy Advance again, I played it there. But I think mostly my time was probably, later, my early teens or something like that, playing it on an emulator is where I really spent time with that game. Because I would go over to my buddy's house, and the same one that would play like Super Metroid, he had Zelda, and he would play that a lot. But it was always like, man, can't we play like something we can both play at the same time?
Oh, yeah.
So. I don't want to just sit here and watch you play Zelda.
Yeah, I think it was years later until I played this because I didn't have a Super Nintendo. My sister on my father's side, she had it, and she didn't really play it a lot either. But I think I played it more than she did. I used to go over and say, "Hey, this game is pretty deep," but I always get stuck somewhere because I didn't know where to go, and and the internet was just dial-up stuff, so I didn't know how to But from her house, I didn't know how to use it, so I was just always trying to figure out what the hell I was supposed to do. But I was like, man, I like this game. I said, I like. That's probably the first time I really liked. Well, actually, Zelda. The first game of Zelda I really actually played was Ocarina of Time. Like, I mean, I played 1 and 2, and I played some of the Game Boy, but I wasn't really into Zelda. I didn't know what the fuck you're supposed to do. So the Ocarina of Time was really the first one I actually went deep in. So then it was like from there I went backwards to try these other ones. And Link to the Past I really did like, and I still haven't beaten it though. I got to the Dark World though, but I don't think I ever finished a dungeon. I always stopped right there, and then I used to just play something else. So one day I do want to go back to this game to play it again. Maybe I might even play like one of the emulator ones too to try that out. But yeah, Link to the Past, man. That because it looks so. I love the art style of it, the graphics. I like
Looks
I like
great,
how
yeah.
colorful it was. Yeah, it looked good, and it still holds up. Like today, I still I like it.
Mhm.
All right, so now we're gonna go to 2001 because this is a big time. 2 big consoles were released this week.
Yeah.
20 years ago. We're going to start with. What do you want to start with, Daniel? Yeah, you can choose. What do you want to start
The
with?
worst one, Dominic.
The
Start with
Xbox?
The worst one.
Okay.
I just wanted to see
Okay.
what your answer was going to be. But yep, that's the right answer, Dominic.
I mean, the
Xbox.
only game I like. Well, we're going through the games. There's maybe 2 of them I might liked.
Yeah.
Like of the official Xbox games, anyway. So the Microsoft Xbox was released on the 15th of November in 2001, and this is big. Microsoft, getting into the games, like the console gaming. I mean, it's like people wonder, could they survive it? I mean, of course they can afford it.
In them, Dominic. Nobody.
Yeah, it's like they know they can afford it, but could they actually make money, and will they stay in the market, or will they go away eventually? And surprising to some, even me, because I was a PlayStation guy, so I was like, fuck them. I was anti-USA then. But I didn't think it was going to last. I was like, man, they ain't getting past PlayStation and Nintendo. Come on.
Exactly.
So they start out, okay, here's their launch games they had. They had 4x4, Evo 2, Air Force, Delta Storm, Arctic Thunder. We mentioned this game before. Shell Damage. I totally forgot about this game.
Yeah. That was
this is that car game, right?
Yeah, Twisted Metal, basically.
That about kind of, yeah. Which, I mean, it looked kind of cool.
I was kind of envious of that, I'll be honest.
Yeah. It looked interesting because I like that stuff. Because ever since Jet Grind Radio, I used to like shell shaded shit.
Mm-hmm.
Dark Summit. What the hell is this? Is this RPG or something, or action RPG?
I don't remember. The name sounds familiar.
No, it's just snowboarding. Oh yes, okay, yeah. It's just, I guess it's that kind of summit. So snowboarding game that probably wasn't that good.
It's no Snowboard Kids.
Dead or Alive 3. This is one of the big ones.
Yeah.
Up there, and because it was exclusive, it was like, what? Why are they going exclusive on this? And like, come on, the PlayStation 2, man. And I was mad because I had Dead or Alive. Well, I didn't actually have it, but I think it was my cousin's. But Dead or Alive 2 played the hell out of that one, and I was like, yeah, hardcore, yeah, exactly. Yeah. But then I was like, Dead or Alive 3 is not going to come to PlayStation. I was mad, and I used to see the commercial when the guy said she kicks high. I used to say, no, I want to see her kick high. That's what this. Man,
Little did we know what that franchise would become, Dominic.
I know exactly. Good God. What we got here? We got nope, that's a Japanese launch game, so we ain't gonna mention that. It's called Double Steel. I'm gonna guess it's a Japanese baseball game. Fusion. I mean, I'm guessing. I mean, it could be
it's gotta be
robot.
like
robots.
Yeah. Let's see.
Not in your face. I think it's robots. I think it's
just because it has the periods between the letters.
I know. Yeah.
So it's got to stand for something.
It should have been a baseball game name.
It would be pretty good.
Let me see. Fusion Frenzy. I used to play this. My friend
never played it, but I always hear
friend of a friend.
that it's
like
the
we
best game on the Xbox.
Yeah, friend of a friend. We played this. Oh, actually, we played this recently too. But the first time I ever played it was over his friend's place. It was like a group of us, and we had a good time. Even though I think I got in last place most of the time because that was because the Xbox controller I could not figure out.
Yeah,
I could not figure that controller at the time.
No one could.
Yeah, that's another thing. Yeah, that controller was huge, big. I mean, I think my friend, he liked it because he was a big guy, so it was good for him. Because he got Xbox, like he went different, like he got the Xbox, and I was like, why you get the Xbox? I got PlayStation 2, but that was kind of good because he got something different. Even though, but all he do is play sports games. But thing is, he always talked about how his games were load faster than my games when I played Madden, and it did because I'd be on the phone with him, and he's like he'll be in the game when I'm still loading up because they had their hard drive and everything. So and that was another thing about Xbox having its internal hard drive. That was huge. So you didn't have to get a memory card.
Mhm.
And that was big then. I was like,
It was
wow.
revolutionary. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I was like, God. And see, but thing is with my mind, because I was thinking that since it had a hard drive, you could save anytime you wanted to in games. Because they used to do that in emulations. Because emulator used to always do that. It was do save states. Like, save state. So I was thinking, like, man, they could do save states in there. I was like, oh no, it's only up to the game allows you to do that. And I was like, oh, but still, I was like, darn, man, yep. I guess you have to get a memory card. All right. So I forgot. I wonder how big was that hard drive?
That's a good question. Let's say
it's
like
a megabit.
Let's say like 250 gigs or something like that. That even might be high.
I was about to say, I think that's a little too high. It's maybe a lot high.
Let's find out. Let's say
It's gotta be 500 megabits.
this console 8 or 10 gigabyte internal hard drive.
Yeah. Okay.
Good lord.
All right.
Man.
Hey, but that was enough for those games.
Yeah. No, absolutely.
Yeah, and then you could install games to it, so for they could definitely load a whole lot faster.
Mhm.
So the console was like the most powerful one, but it's only some games took advantage of it. Like not all the games. I mean, because unfortunately, like third party games, they're not going to.
You would still usually see like small improvements, but that was always the thing. Like even as a Nintendo fanboy, I would concede like that's why I always thought the PlayStation was the shittiest, because it's like, well, the GameCube is Nintendo and the Xbox is more powerful, but what's PlayStation got besides like all the games?
Yeah, exactly. That's the thing. they had all the games. That was the issue, because I was like, yeah, the PlayStation is reaching all of them, but I mean. Yeah, technically, but it's that more people had it, and so all the games were they had more exclusives. Yeah. All right, what else we have? We have the biggest one, Halo Combat Evolved.
I never
came
heard
out,
of it.
And my friend got Xbox. I'm trying to remember when he got it. He got it not less than a year though after it came out. My other friend who lived across the alley from me. And we played when he first got it. I was there when he first got it, and I went over his house to play it, and we just stood up all night. It was like I went home till like 1 o'clock in the morning until we beat the game. We just straight through. My mom was so angry at me because I didn't call. I didn't realize what time it was, and I didn't call, and so she was all worried. I was like, oh, I feel bad now. And then I was like, oh, shut up, I ain't nothing wrong. But. Yeah, I mean, because that game was just so much fun at the time. I was like, oh man, I said, because for me, I haven't played first person shooters since Doom 2. Really.
Yeah,
like I didn't really touch one because the other console games they sucked. So I think it was only like GoldenEye. I would just play multiplayer. Mm-hmm. I didn't play none of the single player really. I think I always died. Because I hated that fucking controller for the Nintendo. I just could not get my hands around that damn thing. Only for Mario. And apparently I was playing it wrong then too, but I figured it out. So, yeah, just like that game and just the shooting felt good and everything. I was like, yes, this is a cool game. It's like, oh my God, we beat it. And I think it took like, because I think when we started playing probably, I got out of school. Probably was like around 4 something.
Yeah.
And up to 1 o'clock in the morning. We were playing that, we beat that game. It's all right. So where are we at here? We got Mad Dash Racing. I remember the cover, but I'd never seen this game. I never seen what it looks like. I'm gonna say it was not a great of a game. Just gonna assume. Oh my God, did I just
Looks
no,
silly.
I didn't. I heard this. Yeah. We got NFL 2002, of course. NASCAR Heat 2002. NASCAR Thunder 2002.
Ooh, Heat.
Now, here's one that the Xbox exclusive one. NFL Fever 2002 came out, and I forgot who was on the first one. Peyton
Manning.
Yeah. Peyton
Wasn't
Manning.
he like on all of them?
Maybe.
I think he was
don't
like
remember.
on all of the Fevers.
Oh, okay. Because
they
I mean,
were
I know
doing that
Iverson.
thing.
I know Iverson was on the 2Ks.
Mm.
I think Madden was the only one that was doing different people. Until like the 2Ks stopped at a certain point with Iverson. But yeah, Peyton Manning, and this is Peyton like digital Manning. This is not like the real him. So he's still in the football. Yep. And when I used to see the screenshots of FIFA, I would think like, oh man, this could be better than Madden.
But, they had the dimples in the jerseys, Dominic. Madden didn't have that yet.
But it turned out it wasn't. It was gameplay wise, it wasn't.
Yeah.
Yeah, NHL Hits 2002, which is the Blitz of NHL. Another Microsoft exclusive, Oddworld Munch's Odyssey. I didn't really care about this game.
That was like the big mascot platformer kind of thing, but I still was like, I want to play that, but it doesn't look very good.
Yeah, I mean, to this day, well, actually, maybe some years ago, I figured out what it was, but I forgot now. Like, what do you actually do in this game?
You roll around in a wheelchair and you help Oddworld people, I think.
What is his drink? Like, I see like a canned soda or something.
They were like turning the Oddworld people into drinks or something.
Oh, okay.
I think that's what it was.
All right, where I'm at here. Another Xbox exclusive, Project Gotham Racing.
Yeah,
this was the
original
Microsoft's,
Forza.
Yeah, this is their flagship racing game until Forza came. And I mean, it got okay reviews. It wasn't no Gran Turismo, but I mean, it was a good game. Mm-hmm. Like I seen decent, like good reviews, around 8s and stuff like that. Shrek came out for it. That works with that game because it's green. Mm-hmm. And Test Drive Off-Road Wide Open, test drive game. You know, you get those. Well, let me close some of these tabs. Good God. Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2X.
Yeah.
Came out. This is the part 2 with the X is extreming.
Mm-hmm. Meanwhile, other systems were getting 3, so I made fun of them.
Well, only one system was getting 3. Because Nintendo didn't get 3 yet either. Didn't they get 2X also?
They got 3 at launch. No, 2X was exclusive to the Xbox.
Oh, okay. Oh, that sucks. Why is that?
That's a good question. Because I think they eventually got 3X, but like 6 months or a year later.
I didn't know there was a 3X, honestly.
I could be wrong.
Yeah.
But they got 3 later.
Oh. But yeah, that's I wonder why they what did they like, hey, work on 2X and didn't know there was a 3 coming out or something? What the fuck?
I think I want to say 2X was like, oh wow, look at how awesome the graphics are on this or something like that. And then yeah, I'm not even seeing a release date for an Xbox version of 3, so maybe 3 never came, or maybe it did come out as X and it's being listed as something different. Yeah, because I remember them being like, look how amazing 2X looks, but it's like, yeah, but it's 2 still. It's not, I got 3 over here. What are you doing?
Yeah. And Trans World Surf came out. Surfing games, Daniel. Yeah. Surfing games were trying to get into that skateboarding action. Didn't work out for them. All right, and that's the Xbox launch for the US. So it was like the biggest games, of course, was Halo.
Yeah.
And probably Dead or Alive 3. But that, yeah, I mean, it wasn't like I wasn't really jealous of the Xbox until later on, really. Because I was like, it's a powerful system. But like I was kind of for the jealous of the games of the future.
Came out, were you jealous?
I mean, I saw the games for the future that were coming out.
Yeah.
Like, I see the pictures in the magazines, and I'll be thinking like, oh man, this game looks better than the PlayStation version. But eventually it came to be like, hey, there's a lot of games not on Xbox, so I was like, it doesn't matter. But eventually I did get an Xbox because there were some good games I wanted to play.
Yeah.
All right, so now we're going to the other system that came out 20 years ago. And this is the Nintendo GameCube.
Oh, yeah.
Did I pass it? Yes, I did. And they had less games at launch, but
quality over quantity, Dom.
Yeah. Maybe. I think you could. Yeah, you could probably you make it say that because, like I said, it's only Halo I really could say. I mean, and they're Live 3, but compared to some of these games, I think so. I think I would say Nintendo. I mean, it's kind of hard. If you're a big Halo guy, maybe you can say I just played them over these games. But let's go down the list. So we've got All-Star Baseball 2002.
Yeah, Ken Griffey all the way.
And was he on front of this one too? Or was this Derek Jeter?
I feel like he has to be.
Because they did switch up All-Star Baseball eventually. And
I'm thinking, what's the...
You thinking about Ken Griffey Baseball or something?
I think I'm just thinking of Ken Griffey Baseball. Yeah, because that's Derek Jeter.
Okay, yeah, because I remember Derek Jeter was on.
Goddamn Derek Jeter.
Actually, I think it was in more than one probably. But yeah, this is their. Who did this game? Is it Acclaim?
Yeah.
Yeah, Acclaim. Okay, so Acclaim did this. All right, so yeah, they didn't have a. I mean, at least not now. Exclusive baseball game for Nintendo, but they had the football one though, but I don't think it came out yet. All right, so you got All-Star Baseball 2002, Batman Vengeance came out. That's the Batman Baseball the animated series game, and I guess that didn't come out for the Xbox. I guess it did come out for, but not on launch. I guess because I see the cover. All right,
yeah, look at that.
So you got Crazy Taxi also came out.
Finally getting Sega games on our Nintendo console, Dominic.
Yep. I mean, it came out in the summer for PlayStation, but this was huge. And I mean, I might as well go to other Sega other games, I should say. Oh, no, it's just a game. Super Monkey Ball, another Sega game.
That's a big one.
And I think that's the first one, right? This is the first one that's ever been made, right?
Yep.
Yeah, so I knew nothing about this monkey. I actually thought he might have been an old Sega character I just didn't know about because it's the way it looked kind of old. So I was like, oh, maybe he was on Genesis, and I just had never seen this game before in my life. And I never knew what this game was till like years later. A lot of years later, I didn't know what this game was. Like about this monkey and his ball. All right, so we got Dave Mirra Freestyle BMX 2.
Yeah.
All right, so this ain't the extreme one. This ain't the one with the boobies.
No, not quite there yet.
You got Disney's Tarzan Untamed. Oh, man.
Fancy.
Yeah. And you also have Luigi's Mansion.
Oh, yeah, that's a big one.
I was curious about this game. I was like, what do you do? Like, this is different. It's like, what?
As it turns out, not much, Dominic.
Oh, yeah. I mean, the reviews, I thought they were going to be like 9s and 10s because it's just a Nintendo game and exclusive and it's like, Luigi's a star now, but it was good, but it wasn't like great. So then I was like, oh,
it's like 7.9s or something like that.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so you got Madden NFL 2002, NFL Hits 2002, and this one I was jealous of. Star Wars Rogue Squadron 2 Rogue Leader. I ended up playing this game maybe a few years later, in the game,
and it still looked incredible.
Life. Yeah, exactly.
I remember seeing the screenshots of that game and just being like, "Oh my god, this is amazing!" And then I got my GameCube at launch. Like I walked into a Best Buy with my mother and we got it, but I couldn't open it until Christmas. So she had it like hidden somewhere, but I knew where she had it hidden. And one of the guys at school had his, and he got it, and he got Rogue Squadron with it, and he let me borrow it. So I broke out my GameCube one day, hooked it up. Played like 5 minutes of that game, was blown away as a child, and then I put it back and waited for Christmas.
I used to what game did I do that with? I did it with something where I found my mom's box. I was like, oh, I'm gonna play this little bit of this game now. Damn, I forgot what it was. I honestly forgot what it was because I did find it. And then she eventually realized it because I just got lazy and didn't feel like wrapping it back up.
I can't help but think, like, my mother probably knew. She was just like, whatever.
All right. So what else we got here? Where I'm at? Oh, yeah. I did that. Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3.
Yeah.
So they had Tony Hawk Pro Skater 3. They got it after us, so I didn't care. I was like, I got late to the party. And Ray Ray's Blue Storm, which it didn't get as good as reviews I thought it was. Was going to get. It got like around probably the same scores as Luigi's Mansion, I think.
I think that's why I never ended up getting it. Like, I think I rented it from Blockbuster one time because the water in it looked incredible. It was like, wow, look at this. It's revolutionary. But the game, like, it only had like the same course or something. So it was like, I'm not going to pay for this.
So, I mean, for the launch, because you got Rogue Squadron and then maybe Luigi's Mansion.
Yeah.
I mean, so I guess compare that to Xbox. It's almost the same.
Sleeper hit was Super Monkey Ball, Dominic.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you get that. I mean, that puts it over. It's not actually between both systems. It's not. They're not like.
They're not all depends what you like. Actually.
Yeah.
And with Halo, I mean, honestly, like the legacy, especially of Halo. I mean, obviously, we've had numerous Luigi's Mansion games that I think have probably been better than that one. But Halo is obviously like above all else, top tier still. Whereas like all the games out of here either don't exist anymore or just were never that great. I mean, for me,
look at the Japanese launch games. I mean, good God, did they get no third parties over there?
No. Yeah, I remember that because that's why I was thinking there were only like a couple of games. But yeah, there were a couple more that came out in the U.S. Because my Christmas was Tony Hawk 3. Like, I was playing that. I got that and Luigi's Mansion, I think. And I touched Luigi's Mansion for like 10 minutes, and I was like, this is not very good.
You didn't ask for a Rogue Squadron?
No. I forget why. I don't remember. Maybe it was all my like PTSD from what's the one on the 64? Shadows of the Empire.
Shadows of the Empire?
And not being able to take down that AT-AT. I never could figure out how to do that.
Oh, I see. I was younger. I get past that easily. I just don't know how to do anything after that game.
I couldn't do anything because I didn't realize, you do it like the movie and you clip on and you go around. I would always do that by mistake. So the only way I knew how to take the AT-ATs down was just fly directly into them kamikaze style.
Oh, you die.
And eventually you don't have enough lives to take out all of them. So I never really got past that Hoth level.
All right. So yes, this was the huge, like, now you had 3 consoles. I mean, 3 consoles from big companies. Like, and then you were thinking 3 consoles don't always last. It always seemed like somebody loses and they stop. Like Sega when it was N64 and PlayStation with their Sega Saturn. I mean, they came in and Sega Saturn / Dreamcast, basically. Yeah. Like, that's like they lost. So, and it's just, I was thinking like, oh man, maybe it's gonna be Xbox because it ain't gonna be Nintendo, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they both all of them live. All these are the consoles,
and all of them have been at the top of a generation at some point.
Yeah.
I mean, Nintendo to a lesser extent. I mean, you can say the Wii. I mean, just because of sales, like it was never like this is the best console, but that thing sold more than freaking anything else, basically.
Yeah, it showed a shitload, and that brought Nintendo back because first people was thinking about the GameCube. That was it was like you come from the N64.
I mean, there were so many rumors where it was like Microsoft is going to buy Nintendo and stuff like that. Now you look at that and you're like, that's laughable. The amount of money that Nintendo has in the bank and the fact that it's a Japanese company, like the likelihood that they would sell to Microsoft, an American company, is just hilarious.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, this brought up big. And then the 360, of course, with Xbox, that's like, wow, that was a huge turnaround from their first console to this. And then they went backwards with the last generation, but now there's something new going on here. Like, I wonder where this goes for these companies, because it's not so much just console especially for them.
Now it's really just about philosophy, because I mean, you see Microsoft and they're like, just buy our console or whatever, but also you can play all of our games over the internet on your phone or whatever. You know, they're just content to get you giving them a subscription cost or something like that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, this is definitely different than these times. I mean, this is yeah, I wonder what the future holds, especially for the other ones. Like if Microsoft's going that route, where's Sony going to go? Like they're changing a bit, but they're not fully going. And Nintendo's doing more than I thought, especially with the streaming games.
Yeah.
So I mean, I'm shocked at that. I mean, it's like you kind of have to, but then again, they're Nintendo, so you would think like they say fuck it. Like, we ain't doing it, but they actually. So it's really different now how games are. But the funny bad thing is that he's still playing the same. So it's not like going cheaper just because you're getting them digitally, which that sucks. Which I feel like, okay, like if games cost, the cost of making games is more, but a lot of these games are digital, so I feel like, okay, still stay at $60. So technically, it still should be cheaper, right? Like you don't have to like not all these games are sold on the retail, or you're not putting as much out on retail like in years past. Probably you're probably not making you're not making them much compared to, because a lot more people are buying digital now. So I feel like, hey, $60, that's fine, because I mean it shouldn't go up to 70. I was like, come on, go on to 70. It's not worth it, especially you're still making these games with microtransactions and stuff, things of that nature. Yeah, I guess that's it for the Flashback segment. Did I miss anything? Did I miss anything? Oh, well, there's a couple games that I didn't mention from these other consoles. Harry Potter the Philosopher's Stone came out for the Windows, PlayStation 1, Game Boy Color, and Game Boy Advance. And why did it come out on PlayStation? Oh, but wait, yeah. Well, PlayStation 1 was still around, but didn't I have a PlayStation 2 one? What else came out? Headhunter for another Dreamcast game. God, what the fuck? They just coming out with these games. Headhunter, I guess it's a shooter or something. I don't know. What else we got here?
Psychological thriller.
We got Wario Land 4 for the Game Boy Advance.
Yeah.
WWF Road to WrestleMania for Game Boy Advance.
Game Boy Advance at its peak, Dominic.
This is big. WWF SmackDown Just Bring It for PlayStation 2.
There you go.
Yeah, I think I borrowed this and I realized, oh my god, this is not as it's not what I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be amazing. Frequency for PlayStation 2. I actually think this was actually all right game. It's like a puzzle game. I mean like a harmonics. Like it was more harmonics did it. Yeah, rhythm kind of game. It was a sequel to Amplitude.
Mm.
And I never played it, but I heard it got an 83 on Metacritic.
Progenitor of like Rock Band and stuff, basically.
Yeah. This is huge. Return to Castle Wolfenstein came out.
Oh, that's the one that everybody says is good, right?
Yeah.
That you can't play anymore.
Yeah, it got an 87% on PC. It got even 85% on X. I remember when the Xbox got, I was mad, but then I said, oh, it's coming to PlayStation 2, and that was the worst one. And this is like, got this all the reviews on that. Yep, 70%. Yeah. So I was like, damn. But yeah, 66 on Metacritic. I'm looking at game rankings. Darn. But yeah, that game, I was kind of mad because I didn't have a PC to play it, and the PlayStation, when I saw the PlayStation review for it, that's why I didn't get it. Because I was thinking about getting it too, because I used to love playing Wolfenstein when I was younger.
Mm.
All right. Oh, Frogger the Great Quest. Yes, I heard this was like the best Frogger game. Look at that frog. Look at that frog. He got pants. He got pants now. He got
anthropomorphic. I don't like it. He's standing on two legs.
I know, that looks so weird. Good God. 32 on Metacritic. Good God, man. Yeah, Konami, man. They had this game just come out a week after Metal Gear. I mean, this is definitely just thrown out there. Like, who bought this game? X versus Sever. Oh, this is based off the movie. That great movie.
Antonio Banderas and Lucy Liu.
Yeah.
Spies at their best.
Look at the box art for this.
Yeah.
Look
at that shit though, Dominic.
Look how big her breasts are. Lucy Liu's breasts aren't that big.
It was based on the script. It wasn't based on the actual thing.
All right. Star Wars Episode 1 Jedi Power Battles on the Game Boy Advance. You ever played this one? This was on PlayStation also.
I don't know. I think the Game Boy Advance Star Wars game that I had was the Episode 3 one. That was a side scroller. And that was actually pretty good because that was just like a beat 'em up. It was almost like Scott Pilgrim-esque.
Oh, okay. Oh, but here's another game that it didn't come out on launch day, but it came out on launch week. Super Smash Brothers Melee.
Yeah.
Came out November 21st. So, yeah, that
in
was...
Japan.
Well, yeah, Japan. Yeah. So
this
they did...
Is
so
early
they
December over here.
Well, I'm just gonna say it now. I mean, I already see it. I already have it up here by accident.
They didn't take it back from us, Dominic, or they held it back from us. Rather, that's what I meant.
Yeah, I just want to know why was it days later? What happened that it couldn't make the launch? but just a few days though. It's not like it's a month later. Or
the
something
printing
like that.
factory for the discs melted or burnt down, melted down.
But that was really the game I was really jealous of. With Super Smash Brothers. That was the game I was really looking at.
I mean, that game looked incredible too. I remember seeing like screenshots of that and being like, you can see the denim on Mario's jeans.
So you didn't get this game either for Christmas?
For Christmas, did I? I don't remember, to be honest with you. If I did I? I think I did.
Okay.
But I just didn't play it that much because I wasn't like, I played the single player stuff a bit, but it really had to be experienced with people. So like I would go to my friend's house and play his mostly.
All right, I get that. But yeah, I used to like see the stitching. Yeah, the stitching on Mario. Yeah, that was like that's incredible. That this game. Yeah, I was so
Mario
jealous
look
of this.
Is good, Dominic.
And that is it. I'm not gonna mention this. All right, so I guess we'll take a quick break. When we get back, we get to the gaming news.
All right,
and we're back. And now we're going to the gaming news. What we got, Dad?
All right, Dominic. So there were some rumors about this. I don't think we ever really discussed it much, but that Warner Brothers was going to be making basically like kind of a mascot platform fighting game a la Smash Brothers or PlayStation All-Stars. Put some respect on their name too. But as it turns out, it is not being developed by NetherRealms because that was one of the rumors going around. But it's going to be called Warner Brothers Multiverse, and it's going to be a free-to-play game, which I think is extremely smart of them. It's also going to support full cross-play.
I don't know, Daniel. I mean, it's probably smart on them, but I wouldn't mind having something like the Nickelodeon one and just be better than that.
Yeah, but that one, you saw that they didn't put that much money into it, so because they didn't have a lot of confidence.
But that's what I was saying. I was hoping that, well, I guess if this is going to be like that game and it's free to play, then fine. Yeah, that is a smart choice. But I was kind of hoping that
what'll happen is they're putting it out as free to play so they can get a larger player base, and then they'll add content to it. More characters. And
I mean, you know what? And they might be able to make a pack like, hey, you get this and you get like 10 characters.
Yeah, like season 1. Go the Fortnite route or something like that. Here's season 1. Here's your stuff like that. But it's an interesting slew of characters because you have your obvious like Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, Harley Quinn. That's not too shocking from DC Comics. Then you have Shaggy from Scooby-Doo.
You have
Bugs Bunny, from Looney Tunes.
I never seen Shaggy. I've never seen Scooby-Doo with Bugs Bunny, so that's different.
I've also never seen Shaggy powering up as if he was Goku, which happens in the trailer for this game.
Scooby snacks or something? Is that how he powers up?
I didn't see him pop a Scooby snack, but that would have been the thing that should have definitely made it happen.
Because Shaggy loves his dog food.
He does. Just the snacks. This is the one that sticks out to me as the weirdest. Arya Stark from Game of Thrones.
What?
Then you have... Yeah.
Wait a minute. See, now my friend... I guess Rick and Morty can be in it then, because I was saying it's adult.
That shouldn't be a problem.
Yeah, because I was saying they probably don't gonna have them in there because they're too adult. You tell me Arya's in there, I'm like, no kid should be watching that show. So
that's one of the first things that one of the first screenshots I saw was like Batman and Tom and Jerry versus Bugs Bunny and Arya Stark or something like that, and I was like, this game is weird.
Yeah.
But they do a good job of stylizing her in a cartoony way. That
put in the fucking Matrix then. Put it Yeah, you put some people from there.
Think about it, Dominic. Like Warner Brothers really does have like a pretty deep roster that they could keep adding to this game.
I mean, I thought they were going this kids route with this thing. Shit.
Nope, going all out.
Put in Harry Potter.
Yep.
What else they got? The
Except
Lord
now
of the Rings.
Maybe not the time for that. Yeah.
What do we got? Nah, people still love Harry Potter. Just say, hey.
That's true. Just don't put J.K. Rowling in there.
Yeah.
Make it like Hermione or something like that. And then you're like, women.
WB. Put in some.
Right. Why are you looking that up?
No, I know. I got another one.
Okay.
What's the guy? What's that movie called? Inception. Put in some Inception stuff in there.
Put in Joseph Gordon-Levitt from Inception.
Yeah.
Christopher Nolan.
Yeah. All right. Oh yeah, you go ahead.
All right. You also have Jake the Dog and Finn the Human from Adventure Time.
Yeah.
Steven Universe and Garden from Steven Universe. And then they have an original character, the Rain Dog, which looks... there's something that character looks like.
An original character? Why the fuck they got an original character?
It really makes you wonder. Like, why? Why even put the effort into that? Although it's adorable, so maybe they're just like... Oh, people love this because, it's cute and we'll sell toys or something. Yeah. Because I was looking that up. I was like, that thing looks kind of familiar because it looks like something. I can't remember what it is now.
I'm a Freakazoid. He's in there?
No, not yet. I mean, that's the thing, though. Like, they really do have a deep roster of people that they could add to this game. So as long as they build a solid basis for this game, I think this game has some potential. You got your boy John DiMaggio voicing Jake the Dog, so
Isn't like Fresh Prince of Bel-Air like WB? Warner Brothers.
Maybe.
Because a lot of those sitcoms, I always see Warner Brothers at the end of them. So they put one of them. It's probably Full House too. Put Full House in there.
I looked up Warner Brothers properties, and all I'm really getting are properties. Let's see, characters maybe.
Put Warner Brothers sitcoms.
Oh
shit! Football started.
You know what they need to put in here, Dominic, and you're gonna hate this. LeBron James.
Oh my God! It's from Space Jam. Son of a bitch.
All the Big Bang Theory is apparently maybe Warner Brothers.
Yeah, put them in there. Put
Ted Lasso, put him in there.
The tall dude in there.
I mean, HBO. Oh, yeah, the Wayans brothers, like you said. 2.5 Men. Sabrina, the new one.
Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, right? How about them?
I have not seen them yet.
Oh, so maybe they're not. No, you know what? They might actually be in. I don't know. I'll be whatever company. They might not be WB. Yeah. But Friends is though.
Too many to look
yeah, Friends. Yeah. That's why it makes sense. It's on HBO.
Fresh Prince. Yep, Fresh Prince.
Oh, it is. Okay.
Family Matters.
Yeah. Put Urkel. Have Urkel in there doing some
hanging
shit.
with Mr. Cooper. Put Mr. Cooper in there.
And that just came out on HBO Max.
Oh yeah. Man. Yeah. Wayne.
Yeah, a lot of sitcoms. I mean, there's quite a few sitcoms. Like In the House with LL Cool J.
Mm-hmm.
That just came out on HBO Max.
The Ellen DeGeneres Show, Dominic. Put Ellen in there.
Oh yeah, Ellen can get in there. They have like a special
HBO
move with the Ellen
Kids
dance.
Show now.
The Ellen dance. She always does sometimes.
Blue collar guys, you can put them in there.
The who guys?
The blue collar guys.
Oh,
Veronica Mars. Let's see what else they got. God, this list. I thought I was scrolling down to like more recent stuff, and it just keeps going. Let's see. Dr. Drew's Life Changers. Dr. Drew, you can put him in there. Tyra Banks Show.
Who's Dr. Drew?
He's the one that used to be on Love Line with Adam Carolla.
Oh, okay.
And then he did like the addiction show, and now he's out there talking about how like COVID isn't real and stuff.
Oh, he's one of them.
Thundercats. Yeah, they got a lot of stuff, Dom.
Oh, they got a lot. Yeah. They got plenty of stuff. Yeah, they probably had to go to free play route because maybe they had all that content. It's gonna be like, man, we can't put a fixed thing on this.
I mean, they could literally do Fortnite, but with only their characters and still release characters just as frequently as Fortnite does.
The characters are on Fortnite.
Yep. So they can just take those models right out of Fortnite. They'll be like, let us borrow those. They look basically the same. They have that kind of, cartoony look to them. So throw them in there. Training day, Dominic. Training day. Get Denzel in there.
Oh, man.
All right. Yeah, so that's pretty crazy, Dominic.
I think that's WB.
Yeah. That sounds right. I think so. When is this game coming out? That I don't know.
Pennyworth. That's his name.
Yeah. How do they not just call their streaming service the multiverse?
Oh, man. That would be good.
And how, when I type in multiverse release date, does it just tell me that the Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness? Yeah, so 2022. It seems like they don't have a firm date on that yet. But
okay.
Yeah, that's pretty wild, Dominic. They're finally doing it. It's about time everybody does it. All right, in some similar news, Dominic, we got an update from Nintendo and their Smash Brothers stuff. You reminded me, because I had completely forgot about this, that Evo was purchased by Sony, so everybody was like, well, can they have games other than Sony games? I mean, it would probably be in their best interest, but as it turns out, we don't know. And Nintendo's always been weird about letting them use Smash Brothers anyway, because Nintendo's weird. So now they have officially partnered with Panda Esports to do some specific tournaments of their own. So there you go. Finally making tournaments happen, at least, Dominic.
Okay, that's cool.
If they don't want to play with everybody else.
I mean, at least if Smash is definitely not at Evo, then at least we have something. But
yeah.
But if it is at Evo, then I'm like, okay. I mean, it is another tournament.
That's just for the people who are doing it professionally so they can get more money or something.
Yeah,
so
yeah, exactly.
Let these people get paid to play Smash Brothers, Dominic.
Man, you want to do that Evo, then everybody play. So it's like,
yeah.
Because that was like, I think that was what the biggest number of players were playing that game.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, Dominic, and some other news. We talked about it last week. Grand Theft Auto Definitive Edition Trilogy is trash on the PC. It's less trash now, apparently, because they returned it to sale on the Rockstar launcher. So you can now get that game again. And basically, Rockstar came out and apologized. They also said they're going to re-release the original versions of those three games on the Rockstar launcher. You're going to be able to buy them as a bundle as well. And if you buy the definitive trilogy through June 30th of 2022, you will also get those original versions for free as well. So I hope with those original versions, you're also able to use some of those mods that we talked about. Yeah,
exactly. That's what I hope too.
That's the only reason for me to play those original versions, is so I can equip that shit with some of that. Also, I wonder how that works with like music licensing stuff, because this definitive one, they removed some of that music because they didn't have the license for it anymore. But I wonder if they can still release that original version with all the music and content in there. I don't know. Just give me the hot coffee one, Dominic. That's what I want.
Yeah. This is what we all want.
Mods back in there. Yep. Get those high res mods in. All right, Dominic, and some other news. We revisit the saga of Activision Blizzard. Some real shit has hit the fan this week after the Wall Street Journal has reported that Bobby Kotick actually knew very directly about some high-level allegations about some sexual harassment and even some rape allegations. One including a top Treyarch exec who he allegedly interfered in the disciplinary action of and allowed him to actually keep his job after an internal investigation basically recommended that he be removed from his position. Not Bobby Kotick, this Treyarch exec.
Yeah, the other guy. Yeah.
So that seems really damning on his part. You know, at one point he was basically like, oh, we're trying to do better and I'm going to take a pay cut. And I didn't know about all this stuff because I'm all the way up here in my ivory tower while these plebes down at
I
the bottom
don't see the little people.
Yeah.
I don't see the ants.
But unfortunately, apparently, there's some emails that say otherwise.
I mean, I hope this.
Yeah.
Can we get this investigation team to look into the Washington team so I can get my owner to get out of there?
Well, I mean, we gotta get Bobby Kotick out of there first, Dominic. Otherwise, this is just the same situation as the Washington team. Over the past week or so, there have been several walkouts now at Activision Blizzard, as well as King, which is the mobile studio that does like Clash of Clans and stuff that they purchased a couple years ago. There are petitions going around with several hundreds of employees that have now signed them asking for Bobby Kotick's resignation. It seems like the board is still behind him right now, and people are obviously calling for some of their resignations as well. And the stock price is going down. I think that's going to be the biggest thing that might actually get results on this. Between that and now also basically the heads of Microsoft and Sony. I don't know why I'm blanking on his name at Microsoft right now. What's his name, Dom?
Bill Gates.
Bill Gates, yes. Bill Gates has come out and said my friend Jeffrey Epstein and Bobby Kotick, they did nothing wrong. God damn it, Dominic. What is his name at Xbox? Because
I don't remember.
Ryan at Sony. Phil Spencer. Yes.
Oh,
right?
Phil Spencer's? Oh,
Yes.
I didn't realize you would talk about him. I thought you were talking about
yes.
actually.
Phil Spencer is who I was trying to think of. And then is it Andrew Ryan at Sony?
For some reason, I was thinking Microsoft, like the company.
Yeah, like the president of Microsoft.
Yeah.
Yes, and Andrew Ryan at Sony. They both basically said, like, we don't like what's going on over there at Activision Blizzard. We need to reevaluate our relationships, and we support, the people fighting for change over there. There have also been some things that came out about Jen O'Neill and her leaving. We talked about that a couple of weeks ago, how she's going to a nonprofit.
I'm sorry, I'm watching football.
Really sad about her leaving.
I'm
apparently she was not getting paid the same as her male counterpart when they took on the co-leadership.
Was it last week or week before last? We talked about this.
I think it was the week before last.
I was saying that it could be bad news why she left. Like, something was wrong.
That's the thing that's frustrating me now, because like there are emails coming out from her that said basically she wrote to them saying, "Hey, I feel like I'm being tokenized, and you're never and Activision, the leadership at Activision is never going to have our best, our best things in mind, basically." Yeah. And I was talking to one of the guys at work. I was like, that kind of annoys me, because like when she left, she said like, "Oh, I have all the confidence in the world." Meanwhile, these emails were going out basically saying, "I don't have any confidence in them." And he was saying, well, he means, or he said that she means that, she had confidence in the people at Blizzard, the people in the lower rungs, the developers and whatnot. And, basically like both things can be true at the same time. But to me, it's like, if she at the position that she's at the level that she's at,
yeah. Why
if
did
she couldn't say
Yeah.
that stuff, then who's going to be able to say that stuff? So that just, I don't know. Like, I don't want to put it all on her to make the change, but like, if you can't burn that bridge and be like, "Yeah, I'm leaving because this place is never going to change," and in the position that I'm in, they just brought me in to be like, "Hey, look, they got a lady at the top," and more power to her for leaving. Like, I respect that, but at the same time,
I mean, that's what the Washington team did. But the bad thing is, it's his wife.
Yeah.
So I don't think she's gonna be quitting and saying, "Oh, I'm leaving because I've been tokenized." Nah, I think it's part of the deal. It's part of the deal here.
I am here to be tokenized. Yeah. So that's unfortunate, but I'm glad that stuff has now come out, and if Kotick's got to go, then Kotick's got to go. Like, I hope
come on, Kirk Cousins,
around
God damn
the
it.
industry. What's that?
Oh, he got sacked. Oh, go ahead.
I'm just hoping with the pressure around the industry and the pressure on the stock price that, somebody over there smartens up, because it doesn't seem like Bobby Kotick is doing what he originally said he was doing and trying to, be an instrument of change. And it's only going to, stay bad. So,
yes. I mean, but like somebody said, it's like, it's good. It's also sucks because it's like, okay, he has to step down. He has to leave the company. Yeah. But I mean, he got all that money. I mean, it's like, well, it's just an early retirement, right?
That's the problem, right? Like, what's he going to do if he gets fired? He's going to go home and cry into his millions and billions of dollars.
Yeah, it's just an early retirement for him, right? I mean, what the fuck?
Yeah. And that's if somebody else doesn't pick him up.
Yeah. Yeah, and
also, it's Jim Ryan at PlayStation, not Andrew Ryan. Andrew Ryan is the guy from BioShock.
Yeah, BioShock. Yeah.
So, yeah, things
are not
person great right now.
He needs to step down too. Andrew Ryan needs to step down.
Yes, his Underwater City has clearly failed. He needs to step down. Let somebody else take over. Yeah, so hopefully things are at least moving in the right direction. Definitely a lot of support out there for the developers at these companies, and hopefully something can happen to actually institute some change here.
Yeah.
Hopefully that can spread out to the industry as a whole, because
Lamar's
are
not playing
just for him. Oh, he's not? Okay. Yeah. Lame. All right, Dominic, did you see any other news before we get into some Game Awards stuff?
Just real quick on the Star Citizen thing. Because Star Citizen is the game that's been worked on for a lot of years now. 2012 maybe?
Game that doesn't exist. Got it.
2012, I believe. And so this week they have recently they just had it that you can try a lot of their ships for free up until December at some point. I don't have the article open right now, but here it is. You could test fly over 120 ships in Star Citizen for free, because usually you would have to buy them with real money. And so you can try the game out. And I'm just thinking, like, what? Like, they haven't even really done this. They worked on a single player, but it's not really out, the single player part of it. But that was years ago. And it's like, what is this?
Mark Hamill's going to die before that game releases.
Yeah, it's like, what is going on with this game? And like, I see guy said, I can't wait until this releases in 2014. Yeah, because that's what I thought it was going to release too. I remember that. And I mean, I don't know what this, like, that's what even Game Informer says. If you're wondering when this comes up, this game is out. When they came out, it officially really didn't. Like, I don't know what this is. This is just people who got money to spend and just play whatever this is and help this and just fly ships around. And man, I think they have quests and stuff, things of that nature. But from what I watched of the game, it's like, for someone like me, I can't get into this because I think some of these ships be costing a whole lot of money, man. Like, this ain't like, $5, like you buying a ship, like $10. It says some of these ships you cough up. What's it? Yeah, you need $45 for access to one of the game's most basic ships. However, like Real Car Show, there's some they go up for a lot more. They say each day is an event will shift focus to specific ship companies and their wares. I guess it'll be your discounts, but yeah, it's not cheap. It's like, this game is for, I guess, the whales, I guess. People who can just spend, spend money. It's like, this game, I was looking forward to this game back in 2012, like a game like this. Oh, it sounds nice, and whatever. It's like, this game, when the hell is this game coming out? Or this is what it's going to be. Whatever the fuck it is now, this is what it is. Okay, we can go ahead to the Game Awards nominations.
All right, Dominic. So yeah, we got Game Awards nominations announced, and right now you can go to their website and vote for your selection of game if you would like. We're just going to run down some of the best ofs real quick. I'm going to start at the bottom here, Dominic. Best multiplayer. They've got Back 4 Blood, Knockout City, It Takes Two, Monster Hunter Rise, New World, and Valheim.
I forgot what Valheim is.
It is that one. It was popular on PC for a little bit. It is basically like Norse mythology stuff. Well, it's more like a Norse survival game. Viking survival. Let's just call it that. Basically like building little settlements. I think it's like top down kind of third person, 3/4 view. That's what I was trying to think of. Yeah.
Yeah, but there's some good choices. Like Knockout City being there, that's cool.
Mm-hmm.
It Takes Two also. New World. I mean, I guess people
Amazon
like that Amazon
that
game.
one,
That's about to say. I guess people like that game. I mean, I don't. I mean, it looks boring to me, but it could be very good to play. Maybe people enjoy it.
Yeah.
Or they were paid to enjoy it, like you said.
Twitch is just full of paid.
Yeah.
Paid guys.
The same people who were playing like Fallout 76 when it was broken and loving it are probably the same ones who love this game.
People that love terrible games. Got it. Yeah. Best sports and racing. We got F1 2021, FIFA 2022, Forza Horizon 5, Hot Wheels Unleashed, and Riders Republic.
Oh, Hot Wheels Unleashed got up there. Okay.
Yeah. It's always weird though, because you're competing like these racing games versus these, regular sports games. Which in this case, the only regular sports game there is FIFA 22. So
it really is. Yeah.
That's kind of odd.
Well, Riders Republic, kind of. I mean,
I don't know. That feels more like a racing game to me still. It's not traditional, like, obviously, but it's more of a racing game than it is a sports.
You're not in a vehicle.
Yeah, that's true. You're just on a vehicle, Dominic.
Yeah.
Ride that motorbike. Guy with a weird bear head and no shirt. All right, Dominic. So next up, we got Best Sim and Strategy Game. We got Age of Empires 4, Evil Genius 2, World Domination, Humankind.
I'm sorry. What was the views on Riders Republic?
I don't even know, to be honest with you. If I had to guess, I would say somewhere in the 70s. But I have heard basically like no one talk about that game since its release. It's been kind of crazy how much it just came and went. Yeah, 77 currently on Metacritic.
Okay, so just good.
Version.
Okay.
Yeah. Which, that's not bad.
The game is $25 for Black Friday. Jesus.
Oh, wow. Yeah. That sounds like a Ubisoft game to me, Dominic.
Yeah.
That and probably Far Cry 6. I wouldn't be surprised if that was.
I wouldn't know. I wish I could try this game out, man, and fucking know if I like it or not.
I wouldn't be surprised if there was a free weekend pretty soon on that game. I feel like Ubisoft's been pretty good about that stuff, but the fact that we just don't get demos anymore.
Yeah, I feel like they should have put a demo for this game.
Yeah, any game I feel like is new and you have confidence in, you should release a demo for.
Yeah.
Any game that I'm going to play and then go, oh yeah, I'm going to play more of this. But I don't know. Does that speak to the confidence they have in this game? Or is it just like, that's not what we do anymore. We don't make demos because fuck people. They can just buy our game. So, all right. Last up in the best sim and strategies, Inscription, and then Microsoft Flight Simulator. So once again, kind of weird category because you have your strategy games like Age of Empires, but then you also have Flight Simulator and Inscription, which
Flight
is like
Simulator
a card game.
came out this year. For some reason, I kept thinking last year for some reason.
Well, they do their categories weird, so maybe it was at the very end of last year.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right. Yeah.
Microsoft Flight Simulator release.
Is there any Cyberpunk up here?
Yeah, that came out August of last year.
Oh, it is. Never. I'm spoiling it.
Don't spoil it, Dominic. Don't spoil it.
I'll edit that part out.
All right. Next up, we got Best Family Game, Dominic. It Takes Two, the game about divorce. Absolutely, best family game. Mario Party Superstars.
I thought it was about yarn people.
Nope. Well, so let me finish out the category and then we'll talk about it. New Pokemon Snap, Super Mario 3D World plus Bowser's Fury, WarioWare, and Get It Together. All right, Dominic. So It Takes Two is about this kid. She turns her parents into yarn people so that they'll work together because they're talking about getting a divorce. And yeah, that's how that goes.
Oh, that's cool.
So then you're forced to team up to unbecome yarn people. So it's a pretty heady game, Dominic. But I hear good things, and now that it's on Game Pass, I kind of want to play it.
But it's a two-player only game, right?
I think it is. So come on, Dominic. Divorced dads, let's play this game.
Yeah, I don't mind. But it's all up to you. But maybe you get your daughter to help you or something.
Oh my God. Yeah, that's what I need. Oh yeah. All right. Best fighting games next up. We got Demon Slayer. We got Guilty Gear Strive. Melty Blood Type Lumina, which I've never heard of. Nintendo
I've never heard of that one either.
Brawl.
Yeah.
And
wow, they just stuffed that up there, didn't they?
Ultimate Showdown.
Well, what they just think they had no fighting games?
Maybe it's something that's popular in the fighting game community.
I mean, maybe it is. I just didn't imagine. I just didn't imagine it. I mean, I'm trying to think. It might not have been anything else out.
It's anime, Dominic, so it's probably popular
Demon
in the
Slayer
fighting game community.
Is that the one? That's
the one that came out recently.
The one that looks boring.
Yes.
Oh my God.
There's only so many fighting games now.
Yeah, that's exactly. They were just filling up the space. So Guilty Gear Strive is going to win, or I don't know how people
Nintendo
like Virtual Fighter 5
or Nickelodeon. I feel like it's gonna be Nickelodeon.
Oh, whatever. But Virtual Fighter 5,
Nickelodeon, Dominic. The fans get to vote in this. Remember
what is Melty Blood though? Maybe that's the sleeper, and I just don't
it's
know
an anime. It's an anime 2D fighting game.
Did people like Virtual Fighter 5? I mean, maybe that one. It's between Guilty Gear and Virtual Fighter 5 then for me. I mean that I think would win.
Yeah. I mean, Melty Blood doesn't look too bad. I think he's got a terrible name, but
I mean, maybe okay, but I just know it ain't gonna be no Nickelodeon or Demon Slayer. It better not be no damn Demon Slayer. Oh my God, that game looks so boring.
No, I think this doesn't look like Guilty Gear Strive level good, but it looks pretty all right. So, all right, Dominic, next up, best role-playing game. We got Monster Hunter Rise, Scarlet Nexus, Shin Megami Tensei 5, Tales of Arise, and Cyberpunk 2077.
Wow. So
who says this is the best game
that's the only
anywhere? Western
RPG in this list. Everything else is Japanese.
That's true. And it's also the worst game, possibly?
Well, I don't know. I think I would like Cyberpunk still better than Monster Hunter. Even with what's broken. I mean, I've never been a big Monster Hunter guy, and I never considered that an RPG either. I
thought that was another weird one to include in there, but I mean, I guess it's one of those things where it's like anything's an RPG now because like even Zelda has leveling stuff, and that's a weird one. So we'll see how that shakes out.
Tales of Rise, I'm about to play. You know what? After I finish this Being a Dick game, I'm going to play probably Scarlet Nexus. I did download it because it's from Game Pass. So I'll probably play that at the same time with the Trails game. It's going to be me just playing a bunch of Japanese games.
Also, I didn't realize Scarlet Nexus was an RPG necessarily either. I was thinking for some reason that was more like Devil May Cry.
Well, it is. It's a mixture of that and an RPG.
Oh, okay. That's what it was. Got it. All right. We got Best Action Game, Action Adventure Game. We got Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy. Metroid
so that's
Dread.
actually a decent game. I never looked at the reviews for this.
Yeah. It's gotten to like.
Oh, yeah. I have looked at the reviews. My fault. I forgot. Yeah, I did. Cause I told you.
Yeah, you told me about the reviews because you were telling me it was reviewing pretty good. Yeah, so we got Metroid Dread, Psychonauts 2, Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart, and Resident Evil Village.
That's a pretty good list.
Yeah, that's a list of games that I would like to play.
Yeah, I actually like all those games on the list. I mean, even Resident Evil Village, I mean, I'm scared of it, but I mean, if I had somebody to hold me while I play it, I'll play it.
and get you a cat down.
No, that cat will die because I will die. We would both die because I was holding it too tight, and then I'll die from being allergic to it.
How poetic, Dominic. All right, best action game. We got Back 4 Blood, Chivalry 2, Deathloop, Far Cry 6, and Returnal.
That's a decent list too. I mean, Chivalry 2 is the only one I'm not really familiar with. I mean, I know it, but it's not my type of game. Like, I know I wouldn't play that. But yeah, this is a pretty good list for action games. Actually, I never looked at reviews for Far Cry 6.
Far Cry 6 is on the lower level of like 8s and stuff. Like, it's still like, hey guys, this is another Far Cry, but it's like, hey guys, this is another Far Cry. Like, I've heard good and bad things about that game. But if you've been away from Far Cry long enough, I think you'll enjoy it. But if you've been playing like every Far Cry, I think it'll kind of wear on you a little bit.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah. All right, next up, innovation in accessibility presented by Chevrolet, Dominic.
What the fuck? Hey, man, you got to get your money. That's a surprise. I'm surprised all of these don't have it.
I know all of them didn't, but there might have been another one or two that I didn't include on there.
I was about to say, that's probably like the game of the year, like brought you by Mountain Dew or something.
Yeah, there is, I think, is it Games for Impact? Oh, wait, I'm sorry. Most anticipated game presented by Prime Gaming.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I just thought Chevy was the most funny, especially for like innovation and accessibility. Like, anyway. All right, so the list there is Far Cry 6, Forza Horizon 5, Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy, Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart, and The Veil, Shadow of the Crown.
Okay,
which I'm not familiar with.
I can definitely see Far Cry because Ubisoft, just from the other past Ubisoft games I played, I've seen accessibility options on that.
Yeah. Forza Horizon, I've seen a lot of stuff around that.
It starts off with that guy talking to you.
Yeah, that's true.
He scared me. Because I was like, I don't want a dude's voice. I want a woman. I said I had a woman last time in this game. Then I realized, this accessibility man just telling me, okay. Yeah. It's just...
It definitely caught me off guard too. But yeah, you can even like slow down the game speed like 50% and stuff like that, which I think is really cool. You know, just giving people the ability to do that if they need to.
Yeah.
I'm not really familiar with what some of the other games did outside of, you know, just the general kind of stuff. And then Ratchet and Clank, I think, also lets you like turn off the trigger stuff that the PlayStation 5 does. So if you have
maybe other games have like a ramp for the wheelchair people and something like that in the games. That's good for them.
Oh boy. Yep. Yeah, exactly. Yes. The Veil you play is
they're wheelchair accessible. These games are wheelchair accessible.
So get on board, Dominic. Just like the new Chevy Trailblazer. Also has a ramp, I guess. All right, Dominic. Next up, we have Best Performance. That's, you know, voice acting for video games. You got Erica Mori as Alex Chen from Life is Strange.
Oh, okay.
You've got
Giancarlo That's a game I can play
Esposito.
Now I kind of want to play that game since I've been playing these story-driven adult games, and I can finally not see any more dicks and tits all the time.
You can chill out a little bit
and can fucking calm the shit. That's
calm the horniness level down.
So much semen. Too much semen out there.
All right, Esposito from Far Cry, obviously. Jason Kelly as Colt from Deathloop.
Okay.
Oziama, she's from Deathloop as well. She's playing Julia.
Say that last name, Dan.
It is Akaga. See, that's why I didn't say it, because, all right. And then Maggie Robertson as Lady Dimitrescu from Resident Evil.
Resident Evil? Oh, okay. That's the big woman.
Yes, she is the tall vampire lady.
Does she look like her too?
Not really, no.
Oh, okay. That's where they should have the model.
Yeah. You just need to get somebody to look exactly like the tall vampire lady. Is that what you want? All right, Dominic. Best art direction. We have The Artful Escape, which you played, thought was beautiful, right?
Oh, yeah. Damn, I forgot about the damn game. I just stopped.
We got Deathloop. We got Kena, Bridge of Spirits. Psychonauts 2, and Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart.
Because I actually had a recording of it.
Quite good.
I forgot to say when I play it, but I had just put it on. I think I put it on the last video.
Yeah, you had it on the end of the last week's episode. Yep. So yeah, those are all beautiful games.
They are.
Deathloop is the only one that stands out to me as a little weird, just because it's not as stylistic as the other ones. But I think that's still a very good looking game.
I guess I had to get something that was a little different. I mean, because Deathloop, it has that. It's not realistic, but it's like I don't know, like kind of like how BioShock.
BioShock, or I mean, obviously because it's made by the same people, but what are those games called now?
Dishonored.
Yes, thank you. Exactly.
I mean, Dishonored. Then Dishonored remind me of BioShock. So.
Yep. Exactly. It all loops back together, Dom.
Yeah.
All right, after that, we've got Best Narrative. We got Deathloop there. We got It Takes Two, Life is Strange, True Colors, Psychonauts 2, and Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy.
So I don't got my being a dick up here. They didn't make this.
You gotta get them in there and say, what up, man? Come on.
Like, come on, Be a Dick Season 2. I mean, even though...
You gotta get the write-in vote.
Technically, Season 2 didn't come out yet. It's not out on Steam yet. It's just on Patreon. So
just on his Patreon. Gotcha. Yeah.
They gotta have Adult Game Awards, just like the Adult Video Awards.
There you go. You gotta make it happen, Dominic. Start a letter writing campaign or something. Get him in there. Get that man the recognition that he deserves. Pink Cake or whatever.
Yeah, I know. I was getting his name. Dr. Pink Cake or something.
Doctor. Oh, I'm sorry. Let me put some respect on his name. Dr. Pink Cake. All right. Next up,
I wonder he knows how to make those body parts look really good. He's a doctor. He knows the human anatomy.
Yes. Former gynecologist turned game developer. All right. Best game direction, Dominic. We got Deathloop, It Takes Two, Returnal, Psychonauts 2, and Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart. Quite a list of games there.
I don't know what this list was that always there? Was this category always in the game awards?
I think it was. Yeah, because
that's
when you have like the developers come up. I think it's basically saying best developer without saying best developer.
Oh, okay.
Like it's saying best game director, basically. I feel like that would be one that Kojima would typically win, right? That kind of thing. So honestly, it's a little disappointing that they don't have Death Stranding, the Game of the Year edition or whatever up there.
Yeah.
So.
But he'll be there to present an award.
Mm-hmm. Hopefully. Here's the hoping, Dominic. Hopefully COVID's not keeping him away this year. And then the big one, Dominic, the Game of the Year award. We got Deathloop, It Takes Two, Metroid Dread, all yeah. Psychonauts 2, another all yeah. Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart, sure, probably another all yeah, but on PS5. And Resident Evil Village.
Okay, this is
that's another list of all games that I would definitely play.
It's funny. It's a list of games that a lot of games. Yeah, most of all these games I will play too. But it's funny that the overall year is not bad. It's just we've had better. Put it like that.
I mean, there's just so many things that have slipped into next year. Or just we don't even know about probably, but maybe would have come out. But everything's getting delayed, so it's not anything.
Maybe because I'm used to always having that game from Sony, where it's like the big narrative game.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's none of these games. I mean, unless you want to count Psychonauts, is a big narrative game.
No, because Ratchet and Clank definitely is not that, despite coming from Sony.
Yeah, we don't have that this year. That big single player narrative experience kind of game.
Yeah,
that I'm just used to seeing. Like, oh, this game is going to get a whole bunch of awards. They're going to win everything. I have no idea who's going to win, honestly.
Because Resident Evil, in a lot of ways, is kind of that thing, but is also so absurd and silly. In the ways that it is, that people don't take it seriously. A woman being that big it's not absurd. That's not what I was talking about.
Yeah,
I was talking more about like him losing his hand for the 7th time or whatever.
And then as long as you tie back up quick enough, you good.
It's a 5-second rule. You just pick it off the ground, blow on it a little bit, and then put it right in your mouth. I mean, right on your wrist. Yeah. So, as Game of the Year, Game Awards coming up this year, I'm excited to see whatever new announcements they've got. I mean, the categories are fun to look at and talk about, but really it's going to be about what gets announced at that show. That's what it always is for me.
Yeah. I just want some surprises. That's what I really want.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's what we got for news this week. You see anything else, Dominic, before we get into new releases?
Nah, I'm good, man. Oh, I forgot to watch. I turned from the NFL game. Shit.
Uh-oh.
Go ahead.
All right. New releases. We got Hextech Mayhem and Ruined King. These are both a League of Legends story games.
Oh.
Hextech Mayhem is on PC, Nintendo Switch. And sorry, what were you saying?
And was it? I'm talking about this game. So, I mean, you can keep going. I mean, I'll go ahead. How are the reviews for this? Like, is the people saying this is pretty good?
I haven't seen anything because they kind of launched out of nowhere. They were like, "Hey, we're doing these League of Legends."
Maybe
story
they had
things.
enough time to review it.
Let's see. Reviews. Because Hextech Mayhem is kind of a simple, like, side-scrolling bit trip runner-esque thing. So that's what that is. And then the other one, the Ruined King, is actually like a tactical strategy thing, I think. Let's see. Let's see what they say on Steam, Dominic. Very positive for the Ruined King.
Not for Tex-Mex, though. I said Tex-Mex.
No, Tex-Mex.
Hex-Tech. They got mixed.
Okay. So you can always trust the people of Steam, Dominic. That's for sure. All right.
They gave all those adult games very positive scores, so they all good.
Well, I mean,
right?
yeah. Exactly.
I just think, like, if they not as good, that's what they're saying.
Made me feel good. We got Sherlock Holmes Chapter 1. That's out on PC, PS5, Xbox One. I don't know how this reviewed. Let's see. It's got a 7 from GameSpot, and 80 from PC Gamer. That seems like a step up from those previous Sherlock Holmes games. Still made by Frogware.
The last one was not that good. I forgot. What was The Devil's Daughter or something like that?
Yeah, I can't remember how many ago that was, or if that was just the last one.
I don't remember.
There's so many. I mean, they release what feels like 2 of those every year.
Yeah, the Sherlock Holmes games. Yeah, they were. Yeah. I mean, I played one for a bit.
Yeah, The Devil's Daughter was right before this one, and then Crimes and Punishment.
Crimes and Punishment is the one I played.
Because that was the one on Xbox Games for Gold or something, right?
Yeah.
Because I remember playing a little bit of that, or maybe it was on Game Pass. But I played a very little bit of that, too. All right. We also have Microsoft Flight Simulator Game of the Year Edition. Now that it's been a year later, coming out on PC and Xbox Series X.
When is it coming to Xbox? What is it?
It's never coming to the Xbox One, though.
I mean, to the streaming app. My fault. The cloud.
Oh. I feel like it's
not out. I mean, unless it just came out now. It wasn't there a few days ago.
I was going to say a day ago. Yeah, because for some reason, because that's how I think you can play it on the Series S is through the streaming only. That very much feels like a game that should have a long time ago came on streaming, because they have basically everything else.
Well, Series X. I mean, when the Series X came out, I thought it was going to be on streaming.
Yeah,
because it was just PC.
Right. Yeah,
so I feel like it should be out there now.
Because it says Microsoft Xbox Play Anywhere, but I guess that's like just between the PC and the Xbox.
Can we sue them? Because they told us all exclusives are going to be up. Well, no, they
told you it'd be on Game Pass.
Yeah, Game Pass. Shit, they didn't say, damn it, shit. I just don't want to download it, man, because I don't know how big
play
it
is. For 2 minutes.
Yeah, I probably will, because I'm going to realize I can't. this ain't that much fun. I was gonna realize this, and I can't make it look
Can't
that
crash
good.
into anything.
I know that, but I was like, it's not gonna look as good as though what I see from those YouTube videos. I see people playing that game.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not finding any good information. Xbox, 4 days ago, Xbox Cloud Gaming launches on Xbox Series X. So yeah, that's official now. You have previously talked about that as far as like the beta and stuff though. But yeah, I thought you were right about that that's how that was going to be playable on the Xbox. But I'm not seeing anything good about how that's working out there. All right, Dominic. We also have Battlefield 2042. That does not seem to be faring very well in reviews. No single player, no voice chat in the multiplayer. Does have cross-platform play, but it seems like it's very buggy and people are not happy with it.
And it's a $60 game. Or is it $70 on PS5?
It's got to be $70, right?
Oh my God, that game's $70, Daniel. Damn. That is some shit.
Let's see.
I'm saying, ain't no way in hell I'm getting these games. Like, they go to 70. They ain't getting in the first week.
How much is it at GameStop? Yep, $70, Dominic.
Yeah, that's need a bag of dicks. And ain't no way in hell I'm paying for that.
Yeah, that's a rough one for them. And we've got Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl for the Nintendo Switch, Dominic.
Oh yeah, how
if you want to
people liking
revisit
this
those
one?
games. The reviews I've seen so far have been fair. You know, like high 7s, 8s.
Oh, so
somewhere
just
in
the
there.
same as Hey You Pikachu? You know?
Yeah, not really blowing anybody away. I can't look at that game and go like, yeah, I want to play that game.
Yeah.
Like, and I hate to be like a graphics whore about it, but
But that's the reason for me. I mean, I want
I could just go back and play those games.
Yeah, I want to play that game, but I wish it looked a whole lot better. I wish I wish it was at least looked like what the last game they did looked like.
If it looked like Sword and Shield, I'd be a lot more positive on it. But
exactly.
yeah,
it's
because it really doesn't even look like they went like Link's Awakening direction and put a lot of effort into making it look cutesy. It just like, here, we made it chibi. It's like, yeah, that's not good enough. It's just not good enough.
just gotta wait for that Pokemon Shaolin Showdown game to hear come out. What is it?
With
like
the Wu-Tang?
Yeah, it's like the samurai.
Aka something.
The Last Samurai. Pokemon The Last Samurai.
Yes, the one with Tom Cruise. He comes and saves the Pokemon from all the Japanese people. Yep. Yeah. So, yeah, and that's not that far away. So, unless they delay it, which I wouldn't necessarily be surprised by. But those are our new releases for the week, Dominic. You got anything else before we close this shop up?
Nah.
All right. Thank you guys, as always, for listening. You can check us out on Twitter. Dominic is at DStallworth5. I'm at RegulusMB. The podcast is at Supapod, SUPAPOD. Supapod.com is the website. You can find all the previous episodes of the podcast there, as well as links to all the places you can find us, including a YouTube, where there's a video version of this podcast, as well as iTunes, Stitcher, Google Podcasts, Spotify, and Amazon. Until next time, guys, we'll see you later.
All right, see ya.